Can y'all hear me now? Can you guys hear me now? Hello, testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay. Thank you so much, pretty Muslima. I want to thank you guys for coming back. I apologize. For some reason, it wasn't registering because, oh God, it's just a technical thing back here. I was just pretty much, did you guys get to hear the video or should I play it again? Did you guys hear the video? If so, I'm going to proceed with my comments. This video is just basically exposing the fact that Yvette and Tone know full well who the assembly is, as they are lying to the people, as they are weaponizing the 80,000 subscribers we've gained them a piece. I'm going to play it again and hopefully they won't tamper with it. Let's start it. Hold on, guys. I gotta do the stop the screen and do this again. Hold on. I gotta do it with audio. Please confirm you can hear it. I'm sharing the audio now.
I told no one what to do. This is a shadow orb. They won't even tell me today who is in there. I don't even know who's in this assembly. It's like the mob. Who in there?
If you want to call it an overview of what the assembly is and does, I'll stop here.
That's Chris Locks in Sacramento.
Thoughts, feedback from either you, Tone, or Yvette with respect to what you've heard so far.
No, I see you all do a lot of great work. My only concern would be that is so concentrated, because what I see in this group is a lot of skill and a lot of work, right? Even when you talk about the Black Civics podcast and we talk about ADOS HQ, like I would like to bring like a link to that, like to the work that you all do, and like highlight that work and bring attention to that work, because
but we're phantoms,
part of what happens is if there's not if there's not a structure for too long, what happens is you have a concentrated group of talent, right? And so like if people want to start chapters and stuff, they know, like you said, Chris, come and we have a conversation or whatever, and if they want to start this. But there's a whole lot of people, especially people who are kind of, they don't even have a chapter, right? So like that's kind of what HQ does. So it allows everybody under one hub and to kind of put what you all have done as well, and like okay, well maybe this is a structure we can use, because we're talking about we need resources. We need like a hub for not only resources, but we need a hub for like the teams that we talk about. We talk about media teams, legislative teams, policy teams, for all the chapters, right? And then for all the work within those little groupings on ADOSQ, for allowing people within those chapters to kind of highlight what they do and how they've done it, so that we can have like, I know that you all get out, and I've heard about you all. I know you all. I know about everybody on here. I think Sean, I just one I didn't know well, but I think everybody else I either talked to or heard about, right?
But we're phantoms, right?
Stuff that gets to me doesn't necessarily get to everyone, right? In terms of like a concentration of talent.
Who are these people,
really
right?
Kind of want to bring everybody online to highlight, like, okay, this is what you do. So you might be tutoring, but you also tutoring on the ADOS HQ, right? Because it becomes like an online hub of people. And also, if there's some stuff and people are disagreeing, I'm hoping that we can take some of that over there, right? So we can kind of hash that out there, because there's a lot, even in terms of media. So I don't want anybody to have to look around for Friday's show. I don't want anybody to have to really search around for the Black Civics podcast. I would like a link for that to be there, and you go there. So okay, this is
the
what
assembly.
ADOS SoCal,
She's
this
talking
is what
about
ADOS
our
LA,
work.
this is what ADOS Boss, this is what ADOS DMV. So you can go in there and figure out who you need to talk to, who you need to deal with, especially if you're organizing around something. So let's say you're organizing around something that's happening in your area. You organizing, I know so-and-so just dealt with this, right? So I want to talk to Reggie in Boston, because I know he he formed a relationship with Ayanna Presley. I'm trying to do the same thing. So how did you do it? Did you do it in meetings? I think we need a place to kind of, because it's COVID too, and I hope, you know, they say in 2021, but we have to have a place to kind of not only structurally organize outside, we have to have a place to kind of structurally like converge on a place. And what I see is like a bunch of people, a bunch of like talented people here, and I've seen it elsewhere as well. It's not just, but I want to bring that on board and kind of onboard people in such a way that like you're not just providing leadership here or with the people that you deal with, you're providing like that to a greater ADOS community online, because a lot of people don't even like the phone. I didn't even realize that. I realized a lot of stuff, but a lot of people love it being online. A lot of people, some people hate it. Some people like, I don't even have a Twitter account. I didn't even know nobody was fighting. So I want to give everybody an avenue to be able to do that and be able to like, because I would like to have work groups for everything. Like, because we're going to have to get into the point at some point where we're talking about or working with who we hire to like write our own bills and stuff, right? So that has to be, we have to have that policy group. And I don't want to have 1,000 different things. If I can scale this thing and just have everybody working together, and we can have mods within that space too, to make sure that everybody stays on task. You know, it's much more difficult to have that kind of conversation on Twitter, because people who aren't even us can just throw an ADOS hashtag, and people, there's no kind of accountability, can't be kicked out. So, you know, I love everything that I have seen here. I just think I want to make sure that those talents are used also for the group, because I think there's a lot to learn from here. And I want to make sure, and I've heard other people do other stuff, and there's a lot to learn from here. And one hand don't know what the other hand is necessarily doing. So I would like to bring some of that in to what we're doing, and like provide you all with an opportunity. You've already proven yourselves in terms of what your leadership capacity does and what your work does with your timeline. And so there are a lot of people, because people are onboarding every day too. So I want them to kind of be able to see that and say, this is the path that was laid here, and here is how we can use what they've already did back in 2018,
use what we've done
to build from for our own little small chapter that we're doing. And I can call or whatever, but I can also just sometimes I might not need to necessarily. I can talk to Chris; he's available, but he also put a link to this in that part of the think tank. In that part of the in that part of the group in HQ. He also did this. He also posted this. And when somebody asked about this 2 months ago, I remember he posted this. Let me go find it. So I just want that to be kind of a hub for it. I just wanted to make sure everybody was clear. I want that to be kind of a hub where you can do your thing. I can't hear you. I can't hear good. Maybe it's my.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was unmuted. You know, I really appreciate the presentation. Everything's not going to be resolved today. In terms of it's good to get the layout of what you guys see internally. You know, as we're laying it out, we're setting up the C4 and the headquarters. The C4 will be out of Georgia. Once we have that established, I think we can start moving to input from different people, and of course, we would definitely take your input at the highest value in terms of how we should structure like chapters, because we need to be concerned with everything from unauthorized message from ADOS to COVID concerns about how we even have meetups happening. I don't think we have that in place, that we want everything to be virtual. So there's, legal ramifications, but there's also structure. I think right now, what we would do is just take back the image of, your structure, and then kind of just digest that. As you know, you guys gave us a lot to chew on today. I think we're all moving to a productive space post Biden election, most likely. Right? And hopefully when we get there, we can start leveraging everyone's skill sets to grow even further.
When I say Messiah leadership, I mean like
Messiah
I don't want to put something in place where like when MLK dies, everybody's over with. So right, Antonio and I go and it's finished. I think we have to put a structure in place where people know that they slide into place. You're next, so you're next up. And what has to happen, and the reason, I also said we don't do Messiah leadership, but I also said we can't be Black Lives Matter. So the thing that has to happen in terms of Antonio and I as co-founders is you have to have accountability. So when something happens, especially when you're talking about when we're getting more media exposure, you have to that responsibility has to fall somewhere too. So it's you know, people love to do praise, but nobody wants to do the accountability part of it. It has to, that you
Ain't
can't
that
do it
the
without
pot
that.
calling the kettle
So
black?
I think, you know, I understand, and I even understand what Black Lives Matter tried to do in terms of trying to have it all be horizontal. For me, I don't think it necessarily works. It works in some groups, but you have to have a specific kind of group to make it work, right? So it may work in a group where everybody is mature, like when you see the assembly, everybody's mature, they're willing to work together. It doesn't always work everywhere else. And I think, you know, I tell people all the time, that's why the military has a structure. You know, that's why you know exactly when it's time when somebody says put down your arms, put them up, we understand exactly what's happening. But when I say Messiah, I don't want this, like when you think of the civil
They
rights
didn't
movement,
want
and it's
this
not even
movement.
right.
We
But
did.
you just think of King. You don't even think of Ella Baker. You don't even think of a lot of the other people who were there doing work. I think what we have to do, we have to also understand that, like, you're not the founder or co-founder, but like, listen, we have a person who is going to be able to do that. You know, you have to have somebody who is ready and willing to slip into all of these roles. You have to have people, and you have to allow a space to where you're not always the one talking on TV. Everybody knows who else can do this. Everybody knows who's good at speaking. Everybody knows who can slide. Everybody knows who is the
But
next
want to
person up who's
undermine
good at
friends of
dabbing.
ADOS
You have
while
to have people who
talking
are ready
double
at the
speak
drop of a
here.
hat to slide into all these roles. Because if not, once you cut the head off, what happens is, you know, it's just finished. It's just over. And we've seen that. Go ahead, Tefan.
Can I jump in here?
Meathead is
You know,
gonna
it's
jump
weird
in.
because I don't think everybody knows why they like ADOS, and I think part of
We know why they like ADOS.
don't see is I think it's a very, very abstract mix. You know, I might talk to Yvette, and then somebody like Serena. I mean, I might talk to Chris, and then somebody like Serena might talk to Yvette. Because I think what happens is because Yvette, between Howard, sexuality.
No, they're not the heads. They co-opted an entire
tone,
movement in
her
progress.
parents' age, being in the deep South, and then, you know, you got me, I'm UCLA.
I'm here
attorney,
to expose the
West
truth.
Coast, you know, brown male. And I think we just cover a gambit of issues that bring about a whole conundrum for what leads to downfalls of, I guess you could say, Black political groups in this moment. So what do I mean?
Which
in
they
this
are
moment,
responsible
gender is
for.
one of the main things that because it becomes an issue. Right after that is sexuality, homophobia, and things of the sort. Education is another one. I mean, so many of these groups
write your comments. I'll address it
educated
after.
people. Everyone can have their feeling how they feel about it.
Your
Another one is just not being quote unquote Black enough. You know, one thing that you can't do is question me and Yvette's Blackness, and I'm talking about that in a more pure sense to the race. Of, did you grow up around Black folk, or are you just pretending? And I think when you start combining it all, if we get like our the ADOS like movement is at a stage where it's just learning to walk.
Yeah, and you've imploded it to take over control.
But it's just learning to walk. One of the things
instead of working in conjunction with the assembly who was trying to give you everything.
What you guys have set forward and what we see is some kind of clarity about, are you guys talking about running while we're just talking about let's start walking, and how do we meld that together and move
But you
forward?
don't know us. We phantoms.
You know, I think that, you know, Yvette's line was about Messiah leadership.
Mm-hmm. Which they are.
I think that some people might have mistook that, Reggie, in the sense that it wasn't necessarily saying that this movement won't have leadership. And one thing I have truly respected,
we're the
and
leaders.
I don't say this too often to you guys, or maybe not often enough, the ones that I deal with, is you guys, whether you know it or not, have consistently allowed myself and Yvette to lead without having to say something. When I went to the meeting with Karen Bass, I really respected that ADOS LA allowed me to make the presentation that's on the YouTube shows. Let's make it simple. The same thing goes when we did the hearing with AB 3121. Our mission now has to stay simple while being very complex in terms of like I guess you could say undergirding. So what do I mean? Simple in the sense of we're trying to project.
We're supposed to be his ambassador, is what he told me.
Complex in the sense of you got to have a whole infrastructure so people don't try to undercut your message. Which is what they're doing. People trying to come in and act like Johnny come latelys and act like they Chris on Friday or Princess
Okay.
and the thing is, this structure I think begins to allow us to say, you just got here. Get your membership card first. Get your laminate. Your laminate is still hot, and you already saying what you gonna do.
You know, to
let me
synergize.
jump in here and explain. And so first of all, the first thing, there's 14 people on this call. So I don't know everybody on this call. So I'm only gonna speak in so many terms, and that doesn't mean any disrespect to the 14 people. But I'm just gonna keep it quite simple. This project started with me and Yvette doing shows and people asking for solutions. I started using a bunch of economists. My first interview was with Thomas Shapiro, if you remember. And so I used a bunch of economists, and one of them was Darity. And the main thing that Darity kind of allowed for is us to anchor what we already wanted to do, which is, I don't know why no other Black professors have said ADOS exists.
Okay.
What Black Lives Matter tried to do in terms of trying to.
So I'm not on camera because the HQ stooges leaked. They hijacked the assembly and got access to this and have turned on their leaderless leaders. You may know them as Amira, Princess Six, Zarina Harris, Trish, I want to say her last name is Walker, out of ADOS Atlanta. So they hijacked the assembly to expose the assembly, and in turn, whether accidentally or intentional, I'm not really sure, but this leaked from inside the HQ. I don't know if it was those stooges specifically, but this has leaked from a hijacking of the assembly to try to drag and further undermine everything they've done to make this movement a thing. Yvette and Tone, for the last couple weeks, more aggressively this week, have been turning on the very assembly that you heard them praise in this audio, this leaked audio of one of the very first HQ meetings where they are giving them glowing commendations. And many of you want to sit up here and now drag me for taking this hot pipe and tea and exposing it hot off the press. Well, you can call me what you want, but I have the right to defend myself, to defend my voice, to defend my brand, to defend my work. And the very first time Yvette Carnell claimed this as her movement was to undermine my Friends of ADOS Super PAC that I had been working on for about 18 months at that time, had finally gotten a board in place. It dismantled half my board and it crippled my efforts and my intent, which was to replace the lanes in Congress with full-chested reparationists like Tamara Johnson Shealy, whom they also destroyed after we poured our aggregated dollars into her campaign, after many of us made phone calls for her. And although we knew we were outmoneyed by the Democrats, we knew that our vote was our only commodity. And had we been really moving as a unified front, without the agents of chaos, the HQ stooges, and the leaderless leaders, we could have gotten her so close to a victory that Warnock would have been forced to add reparations to his platform. So when they came for her, they came for the very reason we all came together to do this work. So they sit up on their shows, on that Super PAC show, and they talked about not having money. We don't have money, we're poor. I kept trying to tell her we may not have wealth, but we're not incomeless. And how is it that I can give to your show, to Tone's show, to the inaugural conference? I was there, we took photos, it was a beautiful, lovely thing. How do we have money The 1,000 of us that were there. How do we have money for that and not money to do our own politics when everybody else has a PAC? Everybody has a PAC and is operating in their own interest, and they've got seats at the table and they're getting legislation swinging their way and all kinds of goodies that we're missing out on. That was me and Marlon Aldrich. We came on that show to explain how badly this movement needed infrastructure. We were dragged for filth. I literally had to come out of the Twitter spaces. I was traumatized to see my own comrades take a soundbite where I was addressing one of my very own patrons of what was at the time Friends of ADOS Super PAC, which is now Equity Advocates PAC. I had to change the name, just like I'm changing the name of this show, because there's so much bad energy around ADOS, the movement, that I've got to get that off of me, because they just recently called me a grifter on her more recent show. And I can't have that stain my reputation. People have grown to love me and trust me and what I do. They've entrusted their aggregated dollars to help me educate the masses and to do advocacy, something I want to take on full time, but can't really afford to right now. I use what little money I make from my salary being slashed, with my job from home in the courts. Everybody's taken a hit, but all of us have done that. She wants to sit up here and say we don't have money for that. And yet all I do is see dollar signs all day. I don't disparage her, make your money. But if you're not really about this movement, which she has exhibited she is not, if you were about this movement, you would trickle down some of those proceeds that we helped you to raise by growing your subscriber base to 80,000 apiece. But what do? They drag people like me. They drag people like Be the Power. They drag the assembly, the nucleus of this movement, the heartbeat of this movement, who were acquiescing their day in the sun for her and Tone's sake, because we were grateful for the political education. This is a movement they never wanted. They tried to stop us from forming chapters, tied our hands on everything. It was a fight to give birth to it, but not a dime has come from Yvette and Tone, while they sit up here and very smugly call our efforts grifting. The Super PAC is regulated by the FEC with a board and the whole 9 yards. We're rebuilding under the brand Equity Advocates PAC, but you can still give to that because we got 2 years, family, before the Republicans take back the Congress. It's going to happen. These white folks are hotter than fish grease over Biden's immigration policies and the browning of this country, while their salaries are plummeting behind the immigrants. So this is a war that we don't need to be a part of. We just need to get our popcorn and sit on the sidelines. But I have the right to defend my brand and that of my comrades who work tirelessly to grow this movement, only to have the HQ stooges and the leaderless leaders drag all of us for filth. I've been dragged the most and the longest. They are busy at work. I am using my platform and my voice to bring you truth, because that's what I stand on. So anybody got a problem with it? That's your problem. You got to check within yourself to figure out, why would you have a problem with me speaking on it with me exposing what they're doing to one another, with me exposing what they've done to me and to us collectively and to this movement. We literally have to press the reset button and rename ourselves, because the very people you heard giving us praise have given us the door. As YC says every time on her show, she can do this with people who don't know better. Her minions don't let me rest. They drag me everywhere. They drag me everywhere. You don't understand. Nobody's blues is like mine, because I've been at it as long as the others, but my pack posed a threat to their grift. So they had to make all of us grifters. I'm going to read your comments and your questions and close this out, because I am literally exhausted behind what has been exposed about the leaderless leaders through the HQ. Thank you, Pretty Muslima, Robin Felix. Yeah, we are now the reparationist perspective. I had to change it because of all the heat coming from the leaderless leaders in the HQ against me and my assembly and my fellow comrades that are fighting with everything in us to get Biden to move on some real tangibles for us in our first 100 days of which we've been locked out of, while they continue to drag our good name, our good brand. This is what they've chosen to do with their time for the past 18 months. We have been kicked out of more meetings with high-standing officials, and now they want to drag us for rescinding Antonio Moore's position on the AB 3121 Commission. Why would we let someone like him represent us there? These are the agents of chaos for the bag. And now they're turning on each other. So the new name of the show, The Reparationist Perspective. Shout out to Arthur Ward, Tansy, Hassan, all my comrades who encouraged me to change it. It seems to be very happily received. If you have questions, just put them down there. I'm going to just do all this right now. Sorry about the audio. Oh, God. It's just a lot when you're trying to throw it up and don't have real plans. I want to welcome everybody, those who have typed and those who are sitting in silence watching the implosion. This is the final straw. This is the mic drop. Shayna McGahee, thank you. Trey Lincoln, thank you. Jamar Carlisle, Satra Delry 360, Brian Johnson. I have to change the name everywhere. It's coming. I just got the name hot off the press with the help of Arthur Ward. Black Magic, I see you, fam. Third James, I'm interested in what was said. I do hear you. Okay, so hopefully you've heard the top of the video. I had to. It was really messing up. So I hope everybody could hear it. I'm going to be playing it in Clubhouse. Sherry Green Milligan, thank you. That's my church fam. She sounds like she's in her YouTube character mode. I don't know what you're talking about, but okay. This is who I am. I make no apologies for who I am or my voice or any of that. Oh, maybe you're referencing Yvette. Yeah, she is a fake, a phony, a charlatan, a grifter. Satra says, I asked YC for a directory for chapters. She said she was working on a website. Is the website up yet? I don't know what they're doing. I know that they wanted to get all the intellectual property from the chapter leaders. They wanted all of the intellectual property. They wanted all of our names, our intel. They wanted all of the money that we were raising on a local level. They wanted that money to come to them. They wanted to charge their adults, their seniors, their teens in a pandemic. They want to raise money for the HQ. They've got what I understand, and this is from some sources, plural, whom I highly respect, tell me that there is a private sponsor in Chicago that needed to see the work. So the plan was to bring everybody in, herd everybody in like chattel, and get all of the intellectual property to show it and save face to this private sponsor, this private donor out of Chicago, that was only going to enrich Antonio Moore and Yvette Carnell. None of that money is intended to come back down to the chapters. Now they want what little money the chapters raise to come up to the HQ. They don't want us to sell merch. They don't want us to have competing shows. Not that the show is in competition. I've often given Yvette Carnell praise on my show, not so much with Antonio. He started dragging my super PAC. You guys can check the archives. He started dragging it first. He was invited by a mutual attorney friend of mine, ours rather. He's known her for 10 years, to come on a super PAC call to learn more about the infrastructure we were trying to put into place to collect $99 a year, to give a third to the local chapters, a third to the state, and a third to the national candidates, putting in infrastructure so we can move as a block. He started coming for that super PAC in the show he did during Super Bowl 2019. Was it Super Bowl 2020, I do believe. Wait, I'm getting my dates mixed up. There was a Super Bowl, I think that last one was in 2019, where he started softly dragging the super PAC in a show about Beyonce and Blue Ivy in some Popeye chicken suits that sold out. That's when he started. And it snowballed all the way out of control when Black Patriarch took an excerpt of one of my shows, because I was in defense mode from that point on, from the low-key dragging and shading Yvette and Tone were doing about the super PAC, which they knew well of, but they refused to pick up a phone. They chose to allow what has now become the HQ Stooges to drag me and to block me and to do as much damage as they could to the brand, to paint me out to be a grifter, instead of picking up a phone. So I don't know about their website. I do know that we've been threatened with lawsuits for continuing to use ADOS. When I use it as the lineage. It is one of the reasons why I'm getting away from it, because it's gotten so messy because of the leaderless leaders in the HQ Stooges. Okay, this has gotten so messy. It's just been an all-out war in the Twitter and Clubhouse spaces that I've changed the show to the reparationist perspective so I could continue to educate the masses and advocate for the vision I see of replacing Congress with full-chested reparationists under the Equity Advocates PAC. I need to be able to work in warp speed. We've got 2 years. I'm scrolling through your comments so I can address you. Who could dare follow them after this? Right, pretty Muslima. They've got loyalists. They've got, like I shared earlier, we grew both of their bases to around 80,000 subscribers. Yvette was not at 80,000 subscribers when I met her work through Boyce Watkins when she was over there. Loved her, loved the political education, but it was my show, my voice, and the shares of everyone, boots on the ground, of she and Tone's video that blew them up to 80K subscribers apiece. And now they have so many new followers that don't know this truth. They don't know it. So you guys can help me by sharing this. But the new ones are dragging me. They're nailing me to the cross because they don't know the history. And you see how convincing Yvette is. You heard her at the top of the video. Let's play it again, Sam.
Instructing them, and you was telling them what to do. I told no one what to do.
I hope y'all can hear it. Can y'all hear that? It's playing. It's coming.
People saying, well, Yvette, we heard that you was instructing them and you was telling them what to do. I told no one what to do. This is a shadow org. They won't even tell me today who is in there. I don't even know who's in this assembly. It's like the mob. Who in there?
Let me play that again for kicks and giggles.
No one what to do. People saying, well, Yvette, we heard that you was instructing them and you was telling them what to do. I told no one what to do. This is a shadow org. They won't even tell me today who is in there. I don't even know who's in this assembly. It's like the mob. Who in there?
It works in some groups, but you have.
So who could follow them after this? They got 80,000 subscribers. So I'm sure until this happened to the people who are dragging me, she'll continue to grow. I'm just a lowly, like maybe get a maximum of 3,000 views, you know? Who am I? She just doesn't sound like leadership. Her role is media. Why can't we understand the difference? Everybody needs to play their roles. ADOS wins. Had she and Tone played their position, we would have won. But they want to take this over for the bag and starve the rest of us out. Her words. If you don't give up all of who you are and all of what you created, we will starve you out. We will starve you out. All the time, energy, and resources to build a thing, and they have just imploded it. Satra says, in college, it looks very problematic. It is a problem. It is a problem. I told you that what they're doing has cost us relationships in the name of the ADOS movement. It has cost us meetings in high places. It has cost us a seat in Congress with our very first reparationist, or at least pressure on Warnock to make reparations on his platform. Sandra says, in college, my professor taught me I put her info in my essay. I put sources in my essay, but my professor did not silence me long as I did not plagiarize. There's nothing, thank you, Sandra, there's nothing about plagiarizing anything. Why, if you're giving political education, are you now mad at those of us who are going out here teaching it? We're trying to use what we're learning to grow the movement, and you choose to come for our throats, our jugulars, for using information to spread it and to help it grow. There's no plagiarizing. They too have taken the information from somewhere. They didn't sit up here and crunch this data. They've used the Color of Wealth LA and other resources, Darity, Hamilton. They've used what they've read to teach it to us. Isn't it our job to teach it to others? Where's the plagiarism? You don't own the data. You don't own the history. You don't own what you just read to put it. You put it together very nicely. You inspired this show. But you don't now get to come for us because we use what you've used. It's open information. Anybody can pick up a book and read it. We got to educate the masses. If 85% of our electorate is still Biden-Harris, while they weaponize immigration against us to replace us and our justice claim and our vote, how do we get those people into what we're doing so we are moving as a block for reparations? That means multiplying yourself through Be the Power, through Friends of ADOS, through uh, the 13% through Friday and Chad's show. Come on now. What's going on with all the drama? Rachel Mwendwa, listen here. I didn't start the drama, but I'm finishing it with this. Okay? Which said, is Angela on? Someone explain it to me. Yes, Angela is here. I'm here. I didn't come on camera because I'm still in my PJs. I've not gotten cute for y'all. Y'all know how I do. I'd like to get pretty. So y'all can't see me with my hair standing all over my head. All right? At 1 o'clock in the afternoon. That's what you can do when they make you work from home in a pandemic. But I'm here. Thank you. You love the new channel name. Me too. Thank you so much. Who are the Stooges? Well, I know Amira, Princess Six, is one. She's the lead one, calling folks out their name. And I think that she was the one to hijack the assembly because someone shared a tweet where she exposed the members of the assembly, which they got wrong. Half the people I saw on that list ain't even on the assembly no more. Okay, so they literally, Zarina Harris is another one, and Trish Walker, whom I can't believe that's what folks are sharing with me about Trish. I remember Trish, if it's the same one, it may have changed from the very beginning when they were under different leadership, and me kind of giving her some coaching on, how to take the movement and make much of it. If it's the same one, it could have changed. But I don't know. I do know of Amira and Princess Six and Zarina. Because I know Princess Six, without even knowing who I am, has blocked me. Yvette Carnell has blocked me. Antonio Moore has blocked me. This was long before this happened. I got blocked when I formed that super PAC to give infrastructure, which they are now trying to do in their own name, as if they founded this movement. You can run that on folks that just got here. Okay? I ain't new to this. I'm true to this, all right? Truth is truth, period. Wow. Thank you, Shanna. ADOS HQ, which plantation are they setting this up at? To me, everything is coming out of Atlanta, where Yvette is. These are her studios. They are with ADOS Atlanta. Side is Angela on. Rachel, Shannon McFarland. Let me try to share it again. Y'all know it's gonna trip because of what's happening over here. It's been trippy from the time I tried to get it going. So yeah, it's back. And we'll see for how long, y'all. They've been something's been glitchy about my whole deal today. Coincidentally. If you're asking, okay, I think you're asking if I'm on. Yes, I'm on. If you're asking me to choose sides, I'm definitely on the side of the assembly. They are the nucleus of the movement. They've been working very hard. Yeah, they don't deserve to be dragged. None of us do. We do this freely of our time, our energy, and our resources and our gifts. Satra says Angela is trying to show that boots on the ground are being shut down. But why? Okay, this is me. I believe we're being shut down so that Yvette and Tone can be the face of the movement for the grift. Everybody has their purview. But everything that appears to compromise their bag has been dragged. The super PAC, these independent new black media shows, everything where folks are trying to, they dragged us for selling merchandise to raise money for our chapters, everything we do. So the assembly and the boots on the ground is being dragged by them to starve us out and to paint a new narrative with the 80,000 subscribers we helped them to build a piece. Well, the chickens have come home to roost, and the very HQ stooges, I don't know which one in particular, but they've leaked the video that I've been sharing with you to expose their leaderless leaders. So there must be trouble in paradise. Kim Mitchell, welcome to the live. They never wanted this movement. They never wanted this movement that they're now trying to insert themselves into. Just listen to the archives. Listen to the archives. We've been asking, Antonio just said it in the link I just shared. These are the very people who went out here and be the solution. Us. He was speaking with the assembly in the very beginning of the HQ formation. Came to the table acting as if they were friends, turned out to be foes. Now we're a militia. I don't know what Shannon McFall, I don't know what a militia means. Are you saying that we're at war with the leaderless leaders and the HQ stooges? Okay, I'm not at war. I'm at peace because the truth has been exposed. I am hoping in this particular episode to clear the names of my comrades who made this movement move. They are the boots on the ground. Even still, even as they're being dragged, they are working hard. So I'm using my voice and my platform to clear their names that have been wrongfully and cruelly and viciously disparaged. Yvette is a flat out liar. And they're both grifting as they try to paint me and others to be grifters. Darnell Lynch, welcome to the live at Friends of ADOS TV. Yes, the video tell that story, but here we are now. Now what? To keep this fight up does what? It's not a fight, Darnell. We deserve the right, after all we've put in blood, sweat, and tears into this movement to make it move, to defend our honor. This is not our fight. This is their fight. I deserve the right to clear my name and that of my comrades. I'm coming to their defense. They have nothing to do with this video. Absolutely nothing to do with it. This is Friends of ADOS TV, the new reparationist perspective. All on me. Put it all on me. The way I see it. The way I've been dragged. I'm talking about my experience and what I've observed about who's really working and who is just collecting money on YouTube. So now what? If you really want to be about the work and not the chair throwing, you can email me at friendsofadostv@gmail.com. We're about the work. We're about trying to get this reparations in the next 2 years while the Democrats have a trifecta that we delivered them, as they've got plans to replace our vote and us with immigrants and deny the justice claim. We're putting pressure on the HR 40. We're doing work. If you want to work, if you want to help make dials and be visible and be a part of this magnanimous history, Yvette Carnell gave us the door. Because we want to unify with all grassroots. She told us she's going to sue us if we continue using the ADOS, although it's a lineage. I don't know how she does that when all of our LLCs, 501c3s, and C4s were founded long before she chose to interject and interfere in the movement in this way. She had a welcome. She was given all access to be the face of it, her and Antonio. But we built it. They didn't want it. We did it anyway. Now that we made it a thing and a household name and it's all over the place, we're the ones that got her the Yale interview. Harvard, wherever it was. We do this work. We got Tone in touch with Ice Cube after he dragged them in a prior video. We got Tone interjected on that Senate hearing floor to speak on behalf of the movement we created. Chris Lodgson stepped down, stepped back so Antonio could have the glory. We gave them position. We gave them a seat at the table for a movement they didn't want. So if you're ready to work, because that's what I'm going to be doing henceforth, I'm done with this after this. I got to go to Clubhouse and share it there, but I'm done with this after this, okay? No, they're not the heads. No, they're not the heads. The assembly and all the other chapter leaders who aren't on the assembly are the chapter leaders. I'm not in the assembly, but I've got a lot of comrades in the assembly. Satra says, someone said dues go to chapters and taxes go to HQ. Not all dues go to HQ. Okay, I don't know what taxes mean. I don't know. I don't know their model. I'm just going by what I've heard, okay? I have nothing to do with the HQ. Yes, Tone can be condescending, pretty Muslima. He oftentimes dragged the majority of ADOS for not being degreed. You know, that's not the way you treat the people you fighting for. Constantly talk about how they don't know enough. Yeah. Darnell says, sorry, I'm just a birdie not knowing where to put this energy. Everything is so defensive at the moment. It's intense right now. They've imploded an entire movement over egos and the money. Now it seems like there's trouble in paradise. The HQ hijacking and hacking through the systems of the assembly and leaking audio. They need to return all the donations to people, the individuals who supported them from the start of the hashtag. Shannon McFall says, I doubt that'll happen. This is the way they live. Apparently, I don't know what they do other than, come on YouTube. I'm not opposed to paying them for the education they espouse. I get that. I don't get how you claim to be the leaders of a movement you don't give back to. You hardly show up to the meetings unless, of course, it's to give you position. And then you drag the very people who are giving their blood, sweat, and tears to this. Pretty Muslima says, Tone's energy was off at the conference. Yeah, I agree with that. Yvette was totally different. I do believe she engages in political theater. Well, this says it all. Angela, let the audio play first. Yeah, I tried to. There's another audio. The video got shut down. This is the part 2 to that. This is a mess. Too much ego going around with people right now. In my zone, I hear you. Welcome to the live. It's not us with ego. You don't see the people doing the work in their egos. They're trying to implore upon Yvette to stop slinging mud at the very people who built this, who was trying to give her the formula to make the HQ work. She has wasted an entire year dragging everybody in sight. First it was the folks on the outside. Now she's eating her young, as they say. So my ego is not in this. I've been doing this for free with a few donations to help me do this work. It's not a money grift over here. I'm about educating the masses, turning the vote, weaponizing the vote, socializing our suffering, and changing Congress. That's my square. I've had a few donors that enable me to buy the book called The Black Tax. I'm working with reparations on the low end of 104 trillion. That's excluding. I still have to get a final number. That doesn't include. That does not include the cost of the decimation of 50 Black Wall Streets. or more. We got to get a full count on that. It doesn't include compound interest from 2017 when Sean D. Rochester's book was published. It doesn't include a cost of living increase. It doesn't include the cost of the black bodies. Okay. 104 trillion on the low end, 735 billion in recurring annual cost. I've shared this throughout my archives. You can check them out, Friends of ADOS TV. Now, the Reparationist Perspective. You can check that out at on YouTube, and the archives are in YouTube and Facebook, Twitter, I guess. So yeah, my ego's not in it. I'm about the truth, and I'm about holding us up in a light in a way that our leaderless leaders and the stooges of HQ have failed to. This never had to come to this. The egos brought us here. But I deserve the right to use my voice and my platform to tell the truth. If you continue to follow them, so be it. I'm done. After this, I'm done. I'm back to my work. ADOSLA clearly did the work. Why is he dancing around that? Welcome, Debonair One. Because we grew it to 80K subscribers. Now they believe that they can just drag us and disparage us and dismantle us. And like the phoenix, we're rising from the ashes, and I'm giving them their reputation back in this video. I'm restoring them through this so that they can continue to do this work in the magnanimous way they've done all throughout this country without Tone and Yvette's assistance, unless it was to give them the face, which we gladly acquiesced until they came for all of our jugulars. When it was just me, not so much. But now that it's all of us, yeah. Yep, heard it loud and clear, Shayna McAgee. They don't sound like they're confident. They don't sound like leadership. They're doing this on the fly as YouTube characters. Yeah, they should have let us do this part that they never wanted and stuck to the political education. It would have been a beautiful marriage. But no, they want to just come for our jugulars and lie to the people. So here we are. Shannon, now he's speaking on the bill that he really had nothing to do with. He came in on the tail end, and now he's taking credit for being a part of the bill. FOH. Listen, Shannon, you're right. We had to rescind him because of all of what he and Yvette are participating in on their videos. Now, if Sean Puffy Combs had to kick him off, okay, had to kick him off of the Revolt Summit because of a disparaging video about Sean, why do you think ADOS California would want someone like him representing us in AB 3121 the way he drags and participates in dragging us along with Yvette? The way he disparages us, the majority who don't have a degree, tell us we don't know enough. It's a constant drumbeat with him. Why? When we put him in position, we were the ones to recommend him, as well as some other great minds, to the commission to study our reparations here in California. Why would we want him after what he's done and allowed to be done to us? Why would we want that? So he's lying yet again. He just showed up. Chris Lodgson stepped back to allow him to be the face of it. ADOSLA hooked up a call with him and Ice Cube so that Ice Cube can make a call to Maxine Waters to put pressure on Gavin Newsom to sign the AB 3121. That's all of parts of the assembly in ADOS California. So why should Tone be given the privilege of speaking for us, whom he detests and calls phantoms, and say we're not doing any work, that it's all them? Go and do and create what we just gave birth to. Stop coming in here co-opting our intellectual property so that you can claim that you did this while crapping on us and giving us your butts to kiss. Stop it. He doesn't deserve to be on that commission. And California is Democratic. They voted majority vote to rescind him. He had nothing to do with his placement in it. ADOS California gave him that. So it's on us to take it away if that's what we choose. They are the biggest projectors and grifters. Exactly. While painting us out to be that. We remember those lame ass interviews. YC and AM shows teach, boots on the ground, advocate. That was the marriage until they decided they want to just kick everybody out if you don't give up your identity that you've established. So they literally got rid of the assembly and all those leaders on the assembly. Yep, it's a lie. Kelvin, they are counting on their blind followers just going with the lie, and they'll have that and that more abundantly. Brian says, to be honest, I first heard about demanding Black agenda reparations from Advise Show Media, now African Diaspora. Very good, Brian. Yeah, they're doing work. But that's great that you heard it from there, but they probably heard it from us, and we're helping to spread that narrative. We've been at this, oh my God, since 2014, 2012? I'm trying to remember. I was working for Bernie Sanders' campaign then, not the second time. I want to say 2012, somewhere around 2012, 2014, she was with Boyce. That's how long. This thing didn't really become a thing until Kamala threw her hat in the race. Our chapter, ADOS, our ADOS chapter wasn't formed until after Juneteenth. We had merged efforts down here in LA. And that was in after Juneteenth 2019 when after Kamala announced her race on the Howard campus on MLK Jr. Day. So that's when the movement was born, because we kept asking, what's the solution? We were exhausted from her giving us this amazing political education and had no way to do politics. You're getting the base riled up with nowhere to go. So we created that outlet for us to do this work, for us to have a voice, for us to put a gate up around what we are owed, because we understand that you don't care about Black life until you care about economic inclusion. It was based on her teachings that we formed the movement. So I get tired of her narrative that she's the movement and want to give us the door for moving after she told us to. That recording was leaked from the HQ. I believe one of the Stooges. I saw a mirror, Princess Six, exposed. Apparently, the assembly has been hacked to get a roster of whom they thought were in the assembly. They don't have the right names, because I saw the list and half of those names are no longer in the assembly. That I know firsthand, because I know many of the people who are not in the assembly anymore, whose names were on that list. So some kind of way, whether intentional or unintentional, they leak the audio that I just shared with you. It was a meeting with the assembly that Yvette's recent show disparaged and called phantoms and said she doesn't know who these shadow characters are. That was in the very beginning when they were working in cooperation, in cohesiveness to form the ADOS HQ, where they were giving us not me, I wasn't at that meeting, that's the assembly, where they were giving glowing commendations to the assembly, praising them. You heard it. I'm going to close out with it momentarily to finish out the show. Not me. I love you, Sister Angela. I love you, Black and Strong. All of you. All of you. You know I do. Those who've been rocking with me since I was dragged, since before I was dragged. Friends of ADOS TV been around a long time because I wanted us to fall in love with each other so we could pay for our politics. Yeah. So you could trust me because I know how it is not to trust. I mean, case in point. So this time around, we will be vetting people very closely. If you're interested in doing the work, if you're interested in fighting for reparations instead of fighting each other, send me an email, please, at friendsofadostv@gmail.com. Friendsofadostv@gmail.com. If you want to work, if you want to continue to throw chairs, go over there with the HQ. That's not what we do over here. We got 2 years. We ain't got time for this. The meeting was on November 7th, 2020, Brian. Too much egos in ADOS right now. Well, in the HQ, yes. Not on the outside. If you've been kicked out, there goes your movement. The conference was $15. Absolutely, it was $15. They didn't even want the conference. They didn't want that conference. Shayna, yes, Angela, the two stooges from ADOS, ATL, and YC intentionally didn't provide support for Tamara's campaign. Absolutely, they disparaged her. We could have leveraged the votes that she garnered to get Warnock to run it on his platform. They, in turn, supported Warnock, who doesn't have reparations on his platform. All the little money that we aggregated to give to her and to make commercials and to do phone dials as she and maybe one other person was driving through rural Georgia for the vote. She came in 6th place, but it was them who shut it down and shut her down. No more. It's a brand new day. It sounds like Robert Owens, welcome to the live. It sounds like there needs to be some separation, separate. Angela, I appreciate much of what you do, but this is a waste of our time. No, it isn't, Mr. Owens. No, it isn't a waste of my time. Y'all don't get to watch her throw chairs at me and drag me and my comrades and me not be able to speak on it to come to our defense, especially since we've been kicked out. They've been kicked out of HQ and are trying to rebrand and do this work. This is a total and complete privilege of my time to finally have the evidence that's needed to quiet these lies. This is the best use of my time right now. I'm airing this hot off the press. Wait till Tyreek and them do their shows. Go over there and tell them that. Go tell Yvette and the HQ and Tone that it's a waste of time to spend 18 months throwing chairs at outside and inside. Tell them that. Don't come over here telling me this is a waste of my time. If it's a waste of your time, why are you still here? I deserve the right to defend my brand, to defend my name, to defend my pack, and to defend the assembly, whom many of those people are my comrades and closest friends. It's never a waste of time to come to their defense. So miss me with it. I'm tired of the grifter term being thrown around. I'm tired of it too, Kelvin. Who threw it first? I've been on this show forever pushing for Tone. Pushing for Yvette. Tone not so much because he was the real agent of chaos behind what happened to the PAC. He sat up there on that Super PAC show that Yvette did. Look at the archives about my Super PAC where me and Marlon called in and told folks, don't have meetings. Just have pizza parties and be my ambassador. They painted us to be the grifter. They called us grifter just recently and erased my comments when I came in the chat with my own defense. So yeah, they're throwing around the term grifter. I'm saying who is appearing like the grifters now, as you just heard them praise the very assembly they're dragging for filth right now. I don't have that affinity for them because I was already politically educated. Great for you, pretty Muslima. I wasn't. I'll be the first to admit I got engaged politically after Obama said no to our reparations, and I looked around and that we were still the anchor of this country. Like, that didn't sit well with me, so I got politically involved and active in Bernie Sanders, Democratic Socialist ideas align more with mine than the current Democratic Party, which are nothing but a bunch of oligarchs. So my role in this space is to teach us about the money we are owed so we can move as a block to weaponize our vote and socialize our suffering and replace the lanes in Congress with full-chested reparationists. In my zone, ADOS movement is nothing but ego right now, fam. You're right. Not us. I'm not claiming that for me in the assembly at all. We didn't do this. We didn't do this. The HQ Stooges and the leaderless leaders can own all of the implosion that has happened. The assembly, I know firsthand who is over there. Some of my staunchest, hardest working comrades are over there, and we're giving her the blueprint. She gave them the door because they refused to give up their intellectual property, their list, and the money they've raised, which is not as nearly as much as what Yvette and Tone raised. I think they are in the six figures over there. Folks just giving. And like I said, sure, you deserve to be paid for the political education. It takes a lot to put these shows together. But why shouldn't I ask for donations so I can advocate and educate the masses? Why shouldn't I do that? Y'all don't know how many hours go into these kind of preparation for these shows. I literally had to dial it back to twice a week. This is like a lot right here. I am in the middle of court right now. And I'm over here doing this because the HQ stooges who hacked the assembly to expose and drag them some more, either intentionally or accidentally leaked this meeting. And when I heard it, y'all had to hear it. So apparently, I don't know what's going on in paradise. I call them the HQ stooges because they're bumbling over there. They're trying to decimate the assembly while exposing themselves. Now, they're the only ones I know can leak it because they're the only ones I saw hacking it and exposing the assembly list, okay? I've not confirmed that it's them, but I just saw a list with half the people on there not even in the assembly anymore. So where else did this leak come from? Since they hacked into their systems. I'm just using my common sense, putting it together. But maybe it's my made up story. I don't know. But it would stand to reason if they just hacked the system to expose whom they believe are the leaders of the assembly, that somebody leaked this video from the same HQ that hacked their systems. That's all. I'm just trying to put it together. It's a leak. Sorry, guys, I jumped too far ahead. You guys are free to stay or go. I'm getting through this. Today I got time, cuz I jumped too far ahead of the comments. I have to address every last one of you. You know you're my co-host. Y'all been rolling with me for a while. And I deserve the right to defend my comrades. I deserve the right to defend my brand. I deserve the right to expose the HQ stooges and the leaderless leaders who apparently hacked their systems and have leaked this. They probably gave it to Tariq. I don't know. I imagine he's going to get wind of this. That's how messy they are. And it's being exposed. So, whatever. I'm going to read your comments, and I'm going to comment on your comments because I should know. I jumped too far ahead. I had to scroll back up. Same here. Calvin says, I'm suspicious of folks who give them so much credit. It's not rocket science. Just open a civics book. It's not even about giving them credit. I give them credit for their political acumen. My God, that Yvette Carnell is sheer fire in that division. She was my inspiration behind this show. So, I'm not going to take credit from where it's due, but this is a new low for Yvette Carnell. When she came for that assembly, and I know them personally, and I know what they've done to grow their chapters, some all the way to 200 strong. I know what they have been doing. I know personally what they have been doing, family. Okay? And so for her and the HQ stooges to come for their jugular and do a stoogey move like leak this video, I'm just reasonably deducing that's where it came from because I saw a list. Half the people ain't even in the movement. How'd they get their list if they did not hack the systems? So I think there are people, I think the stooges may have turned on the leaderless leaders. That's my made up story. I don't know. I'm just saying that the video is out. I had to drop everything. I'm in my PJs. That's why you don't see me. And jump on here and spill this piping hot tea. Yes, I did, because that's what I do. I don't usually involve myself in mess. I've been really quiet. But what has been happening for the past couple of months feels like combat. So, same here. Okay, so defend yourself, but we need to do the work. Excuse me, Mr. Owens, I never stopped doing the work. I never stopped doing the work, and neither have they. But do you understand how hard it is to do this work? When your whole reputation is on the line, you may not know nothing about that. Because you aren't the one whose head is on the chopping block by the HQ stooges and the leaderless leaders. Until you walk the day in our shoes, you don't understand, even remotely. If you walk 5 minutes in these shoes, the stress of what we're all putting on the line, we neglect family, we neglect showers, we neglect sleep. This movement and this reparations is on our mind constantly since waking up to the trillions we are owed. So you get to rest easy. We're doing the work. What chapter are you with? Where are you working? Where are you slinging bricks? I never stopped working. Even when my efforts were annihilated, I never stopped working. I picked up with ADOS DMV. I picked up with Triangle. I picked up with Tri-City. I picked up with CBAC. I went where my work and my efforts and my energy was welcomed. Never stopped working. Even after being dragged, I came on the next day to do my show. But they decimated my audience. So I put in work, and so do they. Can't follow what's going on. I'm out. Good for you, KT. Goodbye. I'm glad y'all rescinded it. Of course we rescinded it. Would you want someone who participates in this type of mayhem and mishaps and lies? Would you want them repping you on a commission? Goodbye, Darnell Lynch. You can go too. Anybody that can't handle my truth today, the door. Yes, total implosion. I love a new name. The reparationist perspective. Thank you, Arthur Ward, Asan, Tansy, and all of you who encouraged me to change the name. It feels better already. Thank you for that, pretty Muslima. This is awful. I'm sorry this happened to you. I'm ashamed to say I followed blindly. Miss Battle 46, thank you for your admission of that. If you want to work with us, we got some great things coming. But we are doing it in order. We are doing it with infrastructure and democracy and unity. UNITY. Okay? That's the way it was intended to work. That's what they welcomed Yvette and Tone into. So I'm sorry it happened to me. I'm sorry it happened to us. I'm sorry it happened to ADOS, the lineage. I'm sorry it happened to our fight for reparations. But we ain't gone nowhere. We here. Been here. Black Outcast Media Broadcasting. Peace, beloved sister. Thank you. Driving but listening. All right. Yeah. I was never okay with the attack on the PAC. I said it to the ATL leadership. Thank you, Kelvin. Many people were not okay with it. I mean, I can't tell you. One caller said, are you purposely trying to implode your own movement? I guess that that caller had a crystal ball somewhere, because that's exactly what's happened. Thank you. We need a PAC. I don't know how anybody gets this done without one, but my PAC continues under a new name. And I'm going hard every day. I got 2 years to replace these people. And I got folks I got my eyesight on right up in this movement, you know, that I want to put money behind. Yeah, to run alongside Tamara Johnson Shealy. She's coming back. She may not know it yet, but the Equity Advocates PAC is going to be working hard. If you want to give, www.equityadvpac.com. You can give now. If y'all all gave $1, we'd be at 40 million to run these reparationists who I believe are ready for office, to ready to take this Congress and be in there representing us. We have no representation in the CBC. Sheila Jackson Lee is not one of us. She is of Jamaican parentage. I don't know where she was born, but I know she's been ignoring our request for edits while taking on the edits of Narcan and Cobra, who are Pan-Africanist. This is about ADOS exclusively. The Black American descendant of chattel slavery. This is who this is for. And so folks are pretty mad that we are putting a gate up around what we are owed in the trillions over multi-generations. But ain't nobody mad that they the only ones eating at that table we have the legs up, right? They're comfortable. We're dying disproportionate from COVID, okay? Disproportionate number of cases while AOC fights for reparations for COVID relief for her people. Tone is a bitter man. I don't know what his problem is. How are we supposed to get any political power and not move in the same capacity as everyone? We may not have wealth. That does not mean we do nothing. Kelvin, you're absolutely right. That's what the PAC was for, aggregated dollars. None of this happens without a Congress that's full-chested about it. They are right now trying to push that HR 40, and it's empty and it's toothless. And all Yvette can do is throw chairs and drag the very people who are the movement, who she told you go be the movement, who she commended. You heard it all through and out here. You heard the video, the leaked audio. You heard it. It's proof. How can we fight for our good names, our reputation? How can we morph into something greater when these kind of reputations are being out there circulating all over Twitter by someone with 80,000 subscribers apiece? I can't compete with that. The Assembly can't compete with this damage. I'm their voice right now. They didn't tell me to do this. They don't even know I'm over here. Not unless somebody told them. I got the leak and I dropped everything. My court cases, everything flew, and I ran, and that's why y'all don't see me. I'm in my PJs. It's 1 o'clock out. It's almost 2, and I am still over here fooling with this. But it's imperative. We deserve a voice. I'm tired of being silenced. So no, we don't have wealth. That's what we're fighting for. While they throw chairs and drag the very people who are the nucleus of this movement. I'm not going to say their names because I'm sure the Stooges are watching as they implode HQ. I'm sure they leaked this. Black Magic, welcome to the live. Lawsuits for using ADOS. Yes, I've been threatened with lawsuits. I've been threatened with lawsuits. I've been told not to have a show, not to do merch, never to use ADOS again. It's a lineage. I don't know how you trademark something that's already trademarked. already trademarked. Y'all about to find out. That's a whole nother show. It's already trademarked. Furthermore, we all got our 501c3, C4s, our LLCs. We already done that in the name of ADOS because we started the movement. All of my stuff predates the HQ. So yeah, threatening lawsuits. How do you trademark the lineage and tell us we can't use what we formed at your behest? Make it make sense. I dropped the name over a year ago because of the toxicity, not to mention the bad press. Well, that's why I had to change the name of the show at the behest of my comrades. There's an echo. I don't know why. I can't share the camera and the mic. Miss Battle. Echo a bit though. It's an echo, but I can hear it. I don't know what's happening, fam. I tell you, I've never had as many problems leaking this to y'all ever in my history with StreamYard. I don't know where there's an echo coming from. I've done nothing different over here. I'm sorry. All charlatans are convincing. Yvette is a political court jester. Well, let the church say amen. This looks really bad. It is really bad. I don't know how she comes back from this. Like I said, she got 80,000 new subscribers, told us she got 100 new emails for folks that want to lead chapters. So, you know, I don't know what you're going to do with 100 emails if those folks don't know civics and legislation and policy writing and how to be influential in high places. I don't know how you do that with 100 new people when you had the assembly that you could have worked in tandem with. They were totally cooperative, willing to make you the face of everything while they sat back and allowed you to be the face of the entire movement. I thought you were gone, KT. Bruce, this is garbage, sis. Move on and do what you were doing. ADOS. Hashtag ADOS. Okay, Bruce, you're free to go. I don't understand why y'all come in my feed telling me this is garbage. How is it garbage that I come to the defense of my brand, my name, and that of my comrades? Have y'all been telling Yvette this? If y'all had been telling Yvette this, maybe we wouldn't be at this stage. Maybe we wouldn't be here. Had y'all been telling Yvette and the HQ Stooges? But y'all quick to come over here and disparage me for defending myself and that of my comrades. How does any of that work? How did you get a copy of that video? It's leaked. They hacked into the assembly to expose who the assembly was in Twitter. The next thing I know, I got this link from that hack, I'm assuming. I think the HQ Stooges are trying to expose the leaderless leaders. I think they're now eating each other. I don't know. It's a leak. I'm just telling you the sequence. I saw this list. I know that they couldn't have got that list without hacking the assembly. And then I got this link and I came straight to you with it. But I have no evidence of where the link came from. Sounds like an inside job of the HQ. I don't know. It's a leak. It's going to get worse. Well, change the acronym around. They can't do anything about it. DOAS. Well, thank you, Ms. Battle 46. Well, we're working on a new ethnicity and trying to work with grassroots to name ourselves Black descendants of American chattel slavery. I think that's it. Something like that. So we're working on a new identity to unflatten Blackness so that our failure in this country can be seen. It's being masked by Black immigrants and the Black decadent veil. Until George Floyd 846, you see. Okay? Until that. Right? The world saw where we really are because, see, dollars bring dignity and poverty makes you a target. Now the world knows, but they're marching for Black Lives to Matter with a police that Biden has said he's given $30 million more to the race soldiers in our communities. These aren't Black immigrants dying at the hand of the police. I've already given you guys the data in the archives. They are like 60,000 liquid to ADOS 200 liquid down here since 2014 reports Color of Wealth LA. As compared to white folks down here, liquidity around 150,000 compared to Kamala's people, Asian Indian, $425,000 liquid. So we are the legs of that table. So yeah, we need an ethnicity to constantly keep this reparations in front of them. We need to let them know we descend from chattel slavery proudly. Do you know what it took for the ancestors to birth us? For me to be able to be on this live right now, the price of the blood and the bones that are in this soil, and you don't get to make us the anchor. I don't care how many immigrants you get over in here. You will make us American before you make them citizens. That's what me and the assembly are here to do. So you can either join us in this fight. I'm collecting emails and contact information at friendsofadostv@gmail.com. Those of you who are about to work, come on board. This is the last show I'll be doing on this. This is the last show I'll be doing on this. I was supposed to do a response video. This is all the response I need. I'm good. Okay. Yvette has none of the ground support. The people that remain online are all they have. Well, that's their fault. They had all of the ground support. And they crapped on it. Now they are left with the circus. They had all the support. They had the best and the brightest in this country, putting them first before themselves. Grinding boots on the ground to give them the movement in cooperation. It doesn't matter how the copy got out, she's busted. Right, Third James. It's a leak. When they leak shit, they don't really tell you where it's coming from. All I know is I saw Amira, Princess Six. I saw where she had clearly hacked the assembly. She had a list of names. How do you get a list of names? You're not on the assembly. You're part of the HQ. You're part of the drama and the trauma that's happening right now. So I saw that, and a couple of hours later, so I imagine it's coming from the people who hacked the assembly. Martin Norwood, right, I had to back off. Chanel J. Wilson, it has. The entire movement is a train wreck, and at this point, their lack of knowledge in this space is dangerous. That is why I walked away, because it turned into something else. Well, I'm telling y'all where y'all need to be. Once you are over being shell-shocked, it's time to roll up your sleeves and get back to work. I ain't stopped. I haven't stopped working. Neither has the assembly. They've been quiet, putting in the infrastructure that I tried to do with my Equity Advocates PAC. Lost half my board behind that nonsense. All because I was responding to one of my donors who asked, how in the world do we get celebrities on board when Yvette and Tone are constantly dragging them? They took a soundbite and put it all over Twitter and dragged me for filth, comrades included. Most painful thing, most hurtful thing, but I've grown tougher and wiser as a result of it. And I decided I'm going to do me. I'm going to do me. That's what the people love. That's what they come over here for me. And what I got to espouse, the information, the way I see it. So, you know, I work with ADOS California. We work in harmony. We work in synchronicity. Yes, we had major issues in the beginning, but we're putting that in the rearview mirror to get this work done. And Be the Power helped to liberate me in that way. I had to get back on my square because they were doing such amazing work. I wanted to be a part of that history. So I'm done with that. And yet I see it cropping up all over the Twitter spaces. Now, I'm not in Twitter, but folks are constantly barraging me with emails, texts, phone calls, inboxes. I can't stay out of it even that I want to. It doesn't matter. They're going to bring it to me. So I am defending our good name, our good honor here. And we have something new. If you really want to work and you really want to be a part of history, because we getting this reparations, full court press. Friends of ADOS TV at Gmail. I'm corralling all of those emails to give you the call when the assembly is done doing what they're doing. Okay. We've got the Reparations Collective doing brilliant work. And the assembly is putting together an infrastructure that's going to be democratic. And I know them and I trust them that it's going to be very different. I think we've all learned some very hard knock lessons in what has happened to us. Information shared publicly, might I add. Yes, Lisa Todd, they failed to pick up a phone. None of this had to be shared publicly. All it took was a phone call. But this was intentional because Yvette said she was going to starve us out if we wouldn't give up our autonomy and our identity. She came for our jugulars. Mark Stevens said, "What's up? This is crazy. These folks are leaking audio from our meeting with them to try and discredit us." Well, darling, this is one of the assembly members. Mark, they can't disparage you. This is not to discredit you. This is to discredit them, darling. I don't know if you watched it from the top of the show. No, this doesn't discredit you. This is proof that Yvette and Tone knew exactly who the assembly is. She did a show recently where she pretended not to know you guys, called you shadow puppets, and I don't even know who's over there. When this video clearly exposes her and Tone commending you guys in the beginning stages of the formation of the HQ. This video that I shared is not to discredit you. I'm saying that there may be some chaos within their thing because I saw a list of assembly members, which was half wrong, leaked by Amira Princess 6 in Twitter. I'm assuming she leaked this video. I really don't know. It did not say who it was coming from. It was a leak. But I'm just putting two and two together. That she's the one exposing the leaderless leaders, or one of the three stooges, and I'm just assuming that they may have done it by accident because I know they roll with Yvette really hard at our expense. So no, brother, I promise you, I didn't expose this. I didn't share this to discredit you. I shared it so the people could see who the real liars are. So the people can make their own decisions about who's grifting as they try to paint us to be the grifters. Mark Stevenson is one of the hardest working men in the movement. He is ADOS, Ohio, Columbus. One of the beginning leaders. Okay, so no, please understand, assembly, if you're in here, I'm not doing this to discredit you. I am doing this to elevate your good name, your good work before the people that follow and watch me, to expose the real charlatans. I'm not trying to do this to discredit you. Hassan Powell. Oh my God. Thank you, Angela Nirvana, for this live. The truth must be bought. Oh my God. Bought forth. Absolutely, fam. Thank you. So now they're leaking audio from a call with the assembly. What the hell is going on? They told us to go build, and what did we do? Mark, that's what I'm saying. This, I think, was leaked by accident by the HQ stooges. They have hacked. I don't know if you're aware, but there is a list of assembly members' names circulating about, I imagine, for more doxing, of which you are aware of, my brother. That was leaked by Amira Princess 6. And then that was all over Twitter. All of your names exposed. They hacked into the assembly. I know she's not in the assembly, so it was a hack of the assembly. And then I got this link. And when I listened to the link, it was showing the truth that Yvette and Tone know you guys full well as they lie to their donors and their patrons of the show and their 80,000 subscribers that we helped to build, pretending like they don't know you. So I am purposely and intentionally sharing it, but it was leaked to me. Please, I hope you understand that. Somebody explain it. Awesome show, nothing but the truth. Thank you. That's the same Trish. Oh, see, that's surprising and very disheartening. That's not who she started out as. She wasn't an HQ stooge. She was green and new to the movement and wanted advice and guidance. Now she has joined the likes of Princess Six and Zarina and Tony and Yvette. That's very disheartening. Very disheartening. Truth will set you free. Yes, Chinita Lynn. Thank you for joining the live. I'm free on this day. I'm tired because this is a rush. Like, oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, I wanted to bring it to you first. I want to bring it to you. this is a pop-up show. Based on the video played, Tone said HQ is out of Atlanta. Oh, yes. Okay, it makes sense. That's where all of those girls, the Stooges are. They're on the ADOS Atlanta, so I do know that. So that would make sense that the org is out of the Atlanta. That's where Yvette and the Stooges reside. I'm back, says I was at Target when you sent up the fish grease signal. Michael said, you let me all the way out. Not the bat signal, the fish grease signal. Woo-wee. This is a good day, brother. I'm here to tell you, I pray I have redeemed the good name of the real leaders and founders of the ADOS movement in this video. You can't handle the truth. You got to go. I'm not here to coddle and hold hands. It seemed to me like they can handle the truth when it's coming from what I see on her shows as she drags me in the assembly. And I don't ever see no comments like, Yvette, stop. Can we get to the work? Only when I got shit to say. There's folk come over here trying to police what I got going on my channel with my money from the donors who helped me with my channel. Folks got, oh, Angela, get back to work. Give me a break. No, this is work. Folks deserve to see who they are financing, whose livelihoods they paying for. Okay? They need to see it and they need to know it. And I'm here for it. Today I got time, cuz, okay? So if you can't handle the truth, this ain't your show. I done told y'all that before. If you can't handle the way I see it, what I share, the door, as Yvette told us constantly. The door, the door, the door. Okay. Bob Sanders, ADOS, welcome to the live. Yeah, I noticed some hypocritical behavior. That Warnock Tamara sneaky situation was very strange. It was dreadful. We had a full-chested reparationist who spent her time, energy, and resources to become the first reparationist in the Congress for us. All our money down the drain. We only got to 40,000. Okay? But had Yvette and Tone participated in cohesion with the vision, we could have at least made her such a threat that Warnock would have been forced to run that reparations on this platform. That's who they supported. Angela Fox Soul did it for you. The fact that you knew to make a pack, I know I've been with Bot, Yvette, and Tone. I think you should move forward with what you have been doing. They're being they move shiesty. Denise Jarrett, expert stylist, thank you for joining the live. Yes, I love being on Fox Soul with Chad and Friday. We were an awesome trio. I really look forward to working with them again. You know, they're really dynamic in what they do. Proud of their work. I was proud to be on that stage with them. You know, and Fox Soul was the best. It was the best exposure for me and for them. And so, yeah, I had a great time. Yes, I've been moving on, sister. I really want you to know that I got this hot off the press, and I who else to drop this piping hot tea than one who has felt the wrath of Yvette and Tone since I formed the pack, and they dragged it and dismantled it. We literally had to rename it. So this is it. I'm not going to be addressing this anymore. You know, I'm done after this, but I've got to get through it. Thank you for joining live. Sheely is her last name. When Tamara came and said what she said on BTP about her YC encounter, that was also damaging. Yeah. The arrogance the elitism of it all, to claim to be in the fight for the lesser of us. But you want to drag the very candidate that we've got that can change this in Congress. She was our AOC. Nobody got a problem when the Latinas get all their pennies in a bunch for their tangibles. No, they run to see what they can do for them because they're weaponizing immigration against us to replace our vote and to make us third world in the country our ancestors built with their lives. To continue to make us the anchor of this country because capitalism needs an anchor. They decided we are it. What happened to Sandy Darity, by the way? Heard about him for a while on Breaking Brown and Tone Talks last year, then nothing. Well, they dragged him too. They're still using his number, 17 trillion. I've heard with sources that Darity agrees with me. That's a down payment. I'm working on greater than 140 trillion, 104, based on the Black Tax by Sean D. Rochester, of which I've been covering with us daily in these spaces, well, twice a week anyway, as part of the Miseducation of ADOS in America 3K's book club series, okay? So yeah, they dragged Darity for filth. They dragged Otis for filth. They're lying on them both. They're lying on the chapter, saying that we're BTP. BTP has been a new black media, part of the new black media since 2009. So how do they now have chapters? BTP has informed the movement. BTP was doing as I did, using the platform to push Yvette and Tone. They came for us all of us who was helping them to be who they become. They decided to drag all of us, throw us away to be the face of the movement they never wanted. Go figure. I don't know. I don't understand it. But yeah, Darity is in that bunch. Otis is in that bunch. You don't hear him calling in the show no more. Okay. Brian says, that's what I thought. Either you're born into it or not. Yeah, we're born for this. We're built for this. This is our time. Okay, this is our calling. Whether we like it or not. A mind once stretched by the truth can never go back to its original dimension. Okay? That's me, the assembly, and the leaders who aren't even in the assembly. Everybody that started a chapter and is leading all over the country. That's who this video is for. To redeem our names, to show who the liars are, who the grifters are, as they try to make us that. No, not today. This video has helped us. It's redeemed us. This is probably not the one they intended to leak, because it's exposing the truth of what was going on behind the scenes. Trey X, no wonder that Sandy Darity don't want to deal with Yvette and Tone anymore. Of course not. Of course not. No. But they want to drag us for rescinding Tone from the AB 3121 here in California. When we gave him a seat at the table, gave it to him. Shayna, when was the audio recorded? Because YC is tweeting that she found out about the assembly in October 2020. She put up an email from Chris of ADOS Sacramento. Then how can she both know who the assembly is in October 2020, drag the super PAC in 2020, and then you heard at the top of the show, I'll play it again, that she doesn't know who they are. Let me play it for you. Hold on. I got to stop it and start the audio again. This says the assembly meeting with Yvette Carnell and Antonio Moore circa October 2020. Yes. Yes, this is exactly. I don't know how this is dated. October 2020. My whole point in all this is that they know who the assembly is. Now watch what she says. The following audio is from a meeting with YC, Tone, and members of a group of ADOS activists known as the Assembly. Over the past few weeks, a vicious online attack has ensued, severing the ties that these grassroots organizers had with ADOS. Members of the Assembly are local organizers and chapter leaders from ADOS chapters from across the country. We know the identity of a few of the Assembly activists. We are still working to confirm the rest. Stay tuned.
Well, we heard that you was instructing them and you was telling them what to do. I told no one what to do. This is a shadow org. They won't even tell me today who is in there. I don't even know who's in this assembly. It's like the mob. Who in there?
If you want to call it an overview of what the assembly
That's
is.
Mark
and
Stevenson. Let me pause it. I am going to say this and then I will not address this issue anymore at all. Too much time has been wasted on a fabricated story. There is no mess to clean up from the assembly at all. Yvette has been on numerous calls with assembly members and has seen the infrastructure. You just heard her. Let me play it again.
People saying, well, Yvette, we heard that you was instructing them and you was telling them what to do. I told no one what to do. This is a shadow org. They won't even tell me today who is in there. I don't even know who's in this assembly. It's like the mob. Who in there?
If you want to call it an overview of.
So if she's tweeting that she knew about them in October 2020, why is she just a couple days ago on her show saying this? Again, I love rewind.
People saying, well, Yvette, we heard that you was instructing them and you was telling them what to do. I told no one what to do. This is a shadow org. They won't even tell me today who is in there. I don't even know who's in this assembly. It's like the mob. Who in there?
If you want to call it an overview of what the assembly is and does, I'll stop here, pause here.
We have a person.
Okay. So how is she saying just a couple days ago that she don't know who we are? Well, I'm not in the assembly, but she doesn't know who the assembly is. And now she's tweeting that she found out about them in October 2020 and put up an email of Chris from ADOS Sacramento. Make it make sense. You follow where I'm going, Shayna? Kunta says, wow, I know. Are you for YC and AM or no? No, Savage Nancy. Sorry, I didn't mean to scream at you. No. Would you be for someone who dragged the very pack that was supposed to put Tamara Johnson-Shealy in office as our first reparationist? Would you be for them? Would you be for leaders who dragged Travis Johnson for wanting to stage a Selma march? Would you be for people who call you grifter while they collect money on their channels, 40 going north, and are now using the AQ to build the C4, to build the infrastructure that was going to be established with the Equity Advocates PAC, which was Friends of ADOS at the time, who are now collecting the very dues that the Equity Advocates PAC was trying to leverage with the chapters that have been formed for us to work in cohesion and move as a block to get our reparationists full-chested in office, who would drag an assembly and pretend not to know them just a couple days ago while admitting in a text that she knew about the assembly from October 2020. Chris Lodson, whom she recently kicked off of the HQ, he was trying to give her everything. Folks still wanting to believe in Antonio and Yvette. I am done. I am unsubscribed. I have canceled all payments. I've been canceled Antonio's. It took me a little while to cancel YC's, but after she dragged me, I canceled that too. They have blocked us. They've never picked up a phone to have any conversations with an assembly they are now claiming not to know just a couple of days ago. Would you be for people like that? That tied your hands when you were trying to get $6,000 a month COVID relief to the people? That tied your hands when you were trying to get out there in March, dragged you for doing it in the name of ADOS? That dragged everything you touch and try to do, drag you for trying to fold yourself into discussions for state reparations? That wasn't our idea. That was a project to take over. Why are we fooling with taking over NAACP and National Urban League financed by white money? That'd be like trying to take over the headquarters of the Black Lives Matter. Would you still be for them? I'm for my comrades. Always have been, despite our differences. I know who's working. I'm for who is working, not for who sits up and collects money on your show while trickling none of it back down to the movement you claim you founded. And then allow your minions to throw rocks so you can hide your hands. Claiming that, oh, I emailed them to stop. Then why not tell them publicly to stand down? That's where all the fights are happening. Never picked up a phone. Kunta says, I saw this day coming, but we got to keep moving. We have been moving. Ain't nothing stopped. I'm just lifting up my name, my brand, and that of my comrades. We ain't never stopped moving, despite what she's been doing for a year and want to blame us for why she can't do the work. No, this is how you make money in YouTube. You keep these kind of arguments and chair throwing going. I guess Tyreek got the best of her and she turned and started eating up her young. Okay, what do I know? We didn't start this, but I'm here to finish it. ADOS goes back to MLK and Douglas. Absolutely. They called us American descendants of slavery. She created a hashtag, inspired a movement with the political education. We are the movement. I've been trying to tell y'all, but folks want to drag me when I say that. You're jealous, you're this, you're that, woo, woo, woo. Okay, call me what you want. I done spilled this tea today. I feel redeemed. Shana McGee, check Twitter on Chris and Friday Jones page. You'll see they were aware of the assembly in 2019. The receipts are posted, okay? Check Chris Lodgson, okay. Sister Angela Nirvana, keep up the work. We love you and have your back. Thank you, Kunta. Tone is obviously a type of person who has been overlooked, and this attention has gone to his head. Well, Third James, tell the truth. Maybe they both have, but it's a shame because like I said, we were freely making them the face of the movement because they knew this political information. They knew the data. We wanted to give them prestige. But we are the builders. We are the founders. Neither of them was at the table. When me and Friday and Tiffany and Melvin, I feel like I'm forgetting somebody. We were the ones to come together to create the chapters down here in LA. Okay. So I never seen a dime of nothing from them. None of it ever trickled back down. I don't even know if they even showed up to any meetings, to tell you the truth. I mean, other than when it was like Karen Bass, or when it's like Ice Cube, or when it's like the Senate hearing floor. You can find Tone in those spaces, but it was ADOS California that gave him a seat at the table, not the other way around. His energy was off because he's just a YouTube character. He's awkward around the family. Third James, you're right. Lisa something, thank you for joining the live. Hard to grip when the money to build only goes out. Hard to grip when the money to build only goes out. Where does it go, Lisa? We've never seen any of that money on a chapter level. And to me, the HQ is feeling like the Black Lives Matter Federation that doesn't put the money back with the chapters. It feels like that kind of grift. So if you could tell me that they're spending the money on the movement work, I'm happy to share that. But I know the chapters never got any money. Not my chapter. Anybody's chapter get any money out there? Speak up. I don't want to be made out to be a liar. Speak up. I don't know where it's going out to. I just got pretty Muslima. I just got my book, The Black Tax, yesterday. Yay, that's the book I'm using. I'm going for broke. I'm a negotiator by trade. I'm not playing with those 17 trillion. That's a down payment. I'm trying to get the accurate number that is palpable, but I'm imagining it's going to probably be somewhere around, when we finish all the math, maybe around 300 to 500 trillion. We can meet in the middle. I'm good with that. But I want that 735 billion and greater recurring. I want ADOS to be paid for the rest of our days, okay? We know we have phone meetings with them ourselves. I don't know who that is. Tanya Princess, love you and your passion, sis. Thank you, my love. Friday Jones in the house. That part. Chris, step back, okay? Friday knows. She was on Fox Soul. She's a big contributor to this movement. She's run for office, and she's great at what she does. Her contribution to this movement has been much. Mike Michelson, Cleopatra Bell, welcome to the live. This is such an unfortunate situation, but this is what we do best. Frida Gillespie, I don't do this best. This is totally out of character. Do you know how many hell black Jesuses I'm going to have to do after doing this? This is not my nature. It's not my character. But you will not drag me and make me out to be a grifter, nor that of my comrades, and let me stand by and get a leak and not expose the truth for what it is. Because if you know anything about me, you know I'm about that TR roof over here. I don't play it. You're not going to make folks look at us as the grifters when you're grifting. Okay? So here's the video. It's the pure truth of their knowledge of the assembly. Okay, see, a son actually put the video link there. She's given it to you since it's been exposed and leaked already. I think it's the same thing. Y'all can watch it for yourselves and share it. Make it go viral. Now we sound like America. Poor, bad leadership all around. We benefit, not at all. Robert Olove, we will be benefiting. We just happen to hitch our wagon to the wrong stars. It's unfortunate, but I'm glad we knew before we reached critical mass. Now we can reach critical mass unimpeded. Easy acts, deflating, demoralizing, disheartening, disaster. Yes, my love, it is all of that. Like I said, I'm going to have to do several hell black Jesuses. I'm going to have to get with my inner Christ and really repent for this. But it had to be done. Terry Lewis, thank you for joining the live. Detroit in the house. Oh, shoot. It jumped again, y'all. Sorry, guys. I got to go back. I'm one and done on this one. It's going to be a long one. Oh, I'm already at 2 hours. Okay. It keeps jumping on me. So many comments, but I want us to get it out. Let's see here. Just a second, guy. I can hear all the pro-blacks. Okay. Now, see, I see folks in here calling me names. Okay. Okay, I'm back. Okay. I saw the name calling. Okay. I thought chapters were going to be formed at the conference since boots on the ground were present. Chapters were already formed, Satra Del Rey. We were formed before we got down there. That was the first time we laid eyes on each other. Okay, we've laid eyes on each other. We've been formed. We've been doing work long before the inaugural conference. Yvette told us to go be the solution. That's exactly what we went to be. Marcus Massey, preach. All TV interviews dragged YC before chapters formed. Well, I can kind of see why now. I didn't know. We didn't know till we just found out. I didn't know. I loved her. I praised her. I pushed her. I shared about her. Edward Adams, I tuned in late. A brother has to work, so I may have missed it, but are there some ADOS chapters in the assembly and some that remain in hashtag ADOS? Is Be the Power in the assembly? There are, I mean, the assembly is the movement. Like they are the ADOS chapters that were kicked out of the HQ, okay? Be the Power is not in the assembly, no. The assembly was kicked out of the HQ, Edward. They were trying to give Yvette and Tone the blueprint for how to make the HQ, bigger and better, okay? And were kicked out. So they are the assembly, and they're doing their own thing now. Like I said, they're putting infrastructure in place and building a democracy and making it a place where we can go to work and make this thing go viral and get the reparations we are owed in the first 2 years while we have a trifecta. Because the way they're flooding the country with immigrants, I'm telling you, whites and blacks alike, after I get done with them over here at what is now named the reparationist perspective, after I get done, even black folks gonna get on this bandwagon and unseat the Democrats if they don't come talking about that reparations in the trillions. Wait and see. Me and white folks will be doing the same thing. You hear me? I ain't playing with this. Vino X, first of all, why is the assembly and its members a secret? Okay, Vino X, today I got time, cuz they're not a secret. Did you not watch the top of the video that was leaked to me? All up and through here, it shows, and you can rewind it back. I ain't got time for them, over 2 hours. You clearly just got here. They're not a secret. Yvette and Tone sat with them when they were forming HQ and commended them for all the work they did, boots on the ground, as she now sits up and says she ain't know nothing about it. Okay? I'm speaking up when I say, oh, so back to Vino, and I'll get to you, Easy Access. Vino X, so she knows the assembly, the very assembly she's now dragging and saying they're shadow puppets, shadow government, she don't know. And this was on her show just a couple days ago. What's the day? Wednesday, I think it was Monday night show. You can press the rewind. I'm going to play it one more time for you because you clearly just got here. I'm going to pause it. Over the past few weeks, a vicious online attack has ensued, severing the ties that these grassroots organizers had with ADOS and the formation of ADOS HQ. Members of the assembly are local organizers and chapter leaders from ADOS chapters from across the country. We know the identity of a few of the assembly activists. We are still working to confirm the rest. Stay tuned. Now, Yvette knows the assembly because she sat with them. That's what this whole presentation, this whole pop-up is about. Exposing that she knew them all along while dragging them. And I'm about to share with you what she said.
People saying, well, Yvette, we heard that you was instructing them and you was telling them what to do. I told no one what to do. This is a shadow org that won't even tell me today who is in there. I don't even know who's in this assembly. It's like the mob. Who in there?
If you want to call it an overview of what the assembly is and does.
Okay. So, you heard her say she didn't have a clue. You heard her say she didn't have a clue. This video is sharing that she had every clue. She and Tone both know full well who the assembly is. Their members are not a secret to her. She has sat down with them and commended them on the work well done in the beginning stages of wanting to form the HQ. The stooges I speak of are Princess Six, Amira is her name. She goes by Amira. Zarina Harris, and sadly, Trish Walker. Those are the HQ stooges. Michael Brown, thank you, Angela. You're so welcome. Lori Jenkins, Tone on Twitter still lying, saying he doesn't know anyone in the assembly. He just heard about them today. Thank you, Lori Jenkins, for joining the live. Oh, my God. So you can look at the Twitter, and you can rewind this show. I'm going to play, as a matter of fact, I'm going to conclude this show with them. They're going to play all the way out. She just told you, and she just shared the Twitter, that he doesn't know who the assembly is. He just heard about us today. And you heard his voice, and Yvette's on this leaked audio. I do believe that the HQ stooges leaked this audio. They may have done it accidentally, trying to get something on the assembly to drag them further because they exposed their names. Half the people on that list they exposed. They must have hacked into the assembly system. I don't know what happened. All I know is somebody dropped me the link. I just pressed play like I do everything and heard Yvette admitting how great a job the assembly had done, how happy she was to be working with them, and the intentions for the HQ to join forces with the assembly to grow the movement that she's now dragging and dismantling with the help of Tone and her minions, who I affectionately call the HQ stooges. YC will never sabotage my lineage nor my quest for reparations, which I have been after since birth, so miss me with the ADOS BS. Kenneth Taylor, you are the door. Okay? If that was meant to me that I'm spinning BS. Maybe that's not how it was intended. Sometimes I take things out of context. Forgive me for screaming. You might not have been coming for me, but I've had that so much, I'm kind of shell-shocked. No, she can't sabotage our lineage, nor our quest for reparations. So the ADOS and suing us, that can't be done. It's a lineage. We can't be sued. I'm going to take the high road and believe that everybody is on my side right now. I'm a little shell-shocked. Forgive me. Sorry if I screamed at you and you weren't trying to take a dig. Pandora 1177 says, we need to do something about Nina Turner. She is running on a class-based platform. Unacceptable. You're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. We need to weaponize our vote and socialize our suffering. Why are they over there throwing chairs at the very assembly that are the nucleus of this movement instead of getting to work? Do you know how much time we've wasted? About 18 months throwing chairs. That is what we're doing and going to continue to do. If you want to get in this fight with us, friendsofADOSTV@gmail.com. Email me. We need all hands on deck. Assembly is getting into position. 2022 is right around the corner, folks. We still need to fight for tangibles. You know it. Have y'all been over there telling Yvette that? Or y'all just going to come on my live and drag me? Marcus Massey, they don't own anything. That's why they are threatening lawsuits instead of sending a cease and desist. How can they send a cease and desist for people who've already established their 501c3, C4s, and LLCs long before HQ was even thought of? They didn't want this movement. We built it. They killed it. At Robert O, I know, but nobody wants to answer because that would blow their victim narrative out the water. These people are horrible. Why would anybody want to trademark ADOS if they didn't create it? Y'all see, this is the kind of nonsense I've got to deal with. This is what's been going on since the Super PAC. This is what's been going on. They over here in my feed calling me victim. I ain't nobody's victim, boo-boo. I've been doing this. I've kept the Friends of ADOS TV alive, not with any assistance from your leaderless leaders and your HQ minions and stooges, okay? I've been doing my work, putting in work with chapters all over the country. Angela, you did not create ADOS, and it is not your movement. You are a horrible person, you and your comrades. Okay, Vino, the door. The door. Just because you create a hashtag and give political education doesn't make you the founder of any movement that you said you never wanted. Vino X, you need to listen to the archives over at Yvette's show. She told us to be the solution. We are the movement. We created the movement. She created a hashtag and gave us political education, which inspired the movement. We found it. Her name ain't on none of my stuff. It ain't on the SoCal chapter. It ain't on the Super PAC. It's not on my TV channel. She ain't got nothing to do with my creation and that of my comrades. We founded this. And that's why I'm cleaning up this narrative now, because of lies. Just because you believe your lies don't make them true. Okay? The assembly is not a secret, but it makes you feel better. Keep running with that narrative. The assembly is not a secret, but if that makes you feel better, keep running with that narrative. Absolutely, it's not a secret. I just played a whole audio of them seated with the assembly to get the HQ started, leveraging the intellectual property and the political acumen of the assembly chapter heads. Kim Mitchell, I'm proud of you for speaking up, Angela. I always try to sit back quietly so as not to destroy the good things going on, but this is all super upsetting. Kim, I know. If you think you're upset, imagine being victimized by all of this. Yes, that come from my jugular. And Marcus Massey from Vino X, she's still talking. If it was not a secret, why are they hiding who is part of it? Nobody's hiding who is part of it. You need to press rewind. I'm going to play the vid at the end as I sign off. You're on point every single time. They need to hear you, Real D. Solomon. Thank you, my love. You see, this is why I do it. Black Outcast Media Broadcasting. If every time a name came up, accusations and slander followed, I wouldn't tell the hyper partisan followers who I was either. Thank you, Black Outcast. They've not been hiding who they are. Princess Six just exposed some of them when she hacked their systems today. That's how I think I got this leaked audio. Someone already shared it. I guess it's gone viral. It's in the feed. Go back and look at it for yourself. Cleopatra Bell, welcome to the live. Chaos wakes people up. Out of chaos can come order. Unknown. Thank you, Cleopatra Bell. Absolutely. This is great, family. It feels dreadful to go through. Oh my God. I've cried. I've hollered. I've screamed to my comrades. They know my pain. We know each other's pain. And like the phoenix, we are rising from these ashes. We ain't never quit, despite the boot on our neck. Dante Carter, welcome to the live. God bless all, and chaos wakes people up. Okay. Besides, what does it matter who the assembly is if they're doing work? I could care less. Amen to that, Black Outcast Media Broadcasting. True. Why they care so much? Because what's happening now is that they're doxing members of the assembly. Yes, I know one in particular. Who's been doxed. And let me tell you something. Do you know how dangerous doxing is? I'll tell you a quick short story. A woman was being doxed while fighting for Black folks. It's on YouTube. She was doxed by people who hate that she fights for white folks. For Black folks. She fights for Black folks. They were mad at her for her work. Do you know what they did while she was out of town on a speaking engagement fighting for ADOS? They called the police to her home where her 17-year-old son lay sleeping. The police converged on her home 8 strong. Do you understand what I'm telling you, how dangerous this is? And the HQ is doing this to the leaders in the assembly. The cops show up 8 strong, and the story would have ended a very different way had the woman not already had a police report on file that she was being doxxed. They would have gone in there and murdered that baby boy in his own home. This is how dangerous concealing the truth of what's going down is. It can get these very people who are already putting their livelihoods on the line to speak up for reparations, right? It could get them or their family. I'm not even going to fill in the rest. You can tell by the story I shared how damaging it is that they're doxing them and wanting their names. That's what's happening under Yvette Carnell's HQ right now, and the minions and the stooges. So they hacked their systems, leaked the names for the doxing, you see, to put their lives at risk while they fight for our repair. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you who I know in the assembly. No. They're doing the work. Dark Skin Beauty, yeah, I said it. I am homeless, ADOS. No GDBIH. No good, Biden Harris. You're right, dark skin. We're fighting for you. Angela, you are full of shit, and so are your comrades. My question is, why can't y'all just leave? Nobody owes you anything. This stuff is laughable to me now. It's just laughable. Leave and go where? My ancestors built this country with their lives. Their blood and bones are in the soil. We are Black American descendants of chattel slavery. Who you? Who you to tell me to leave? I'm on my channel. I'm on my show. My donors pay for this show. Not you. You just got here. We are owed on the low end $104 trillion for slavery, Jim Crow, and accrued ongoing systemic racism, oppression, and disadvantage in the country our ancestors built with their lives. That's my square. Has been since I came to myself, thanks to YC. She hooked me up with my tribe. I've been nothing but kind. Shared everything she did to get her to 80K subscribers. For her and her minions and stooges to put their boots on my neck and try to silence me. And today, I got a critical leak to show everyone who they truly are. Make this go viral. Mike says, I'm dodging this flashing fish grease. Baby boo, it's hot today, ain't it? Marvin Brown says, America's a terrible place to live. White America's racism historically ranks highest against the list of human civil liberties. Historically, there hasn't been one white popular athlete, celebrity, politician to speak out against the racism that other people have been creating here in America. Is there not one popular white person here in America who has the courage to stand and speak out against their own people? Is there not one popular white person who can use their, okay, cut off. Listen, Marvin, Marianne Williamson, Tom Steyer. Check the archives on Marianne Williamson. She's one white woman I know that speaks up about it, okay? You see, it's on us. We can't get reparations until we agree to move as a block, until we believe we are owed, until we understand that we are on the anchor. We are the anchor of this country. We are the legs of the table everybody else eats from by way of institutional systemic racism. When we can stop doing the white oppressor on our own people, when we can stop it, ADOS, the lineage, when we can stop judging our own people for what we know firsthand, even as Black professionals, educated, we know firsthand the hand of institutional systemic racism. We've been under the boot of it. So when we can stop the white oppressive narrative that all the immigrants espouse, when we stop that, we will be repaired. So will our dignity. Because dignity brings dollars and poverty makes us a target. You know you're doing bad when you get left with nothing but trolls. Yeah, you doing bad. Right, Dante Carter, just minions. Antoine Foster, welcome to the live. The internal strife is very disappointing to witness, shameful. Yeah, I didn't start it though. Let's all remember, you don't see Angela Nirvana doing this, not on my show. I'm here to educate the masses and to advocate for reparations for my people, to tell Pharaoh to let my people go. That's the square I'm on. That's the square I'm going to get back on. But I'm going to finish this today. Maybe someone from the assembly leaked it. I don't know why. What would be their vested interest in leaking this video? You're saying they hacked into their own system to expose their names in Twitter and then leaked? That doesn't make sense to me. Why they've been quiet. I've not heard anything from the assembly. I mean, I see a couple of posts where they're trying to come to their own defense, but they get, attacked. But no, I saw the leak first in Twitter from Amira. It is clear to me that I know she's not in the assembly. She's with the HQ. She's one of Yvette's stooges. And I saw that tweet today exposing the names of the assembly. So if she hacked the system and then this came, I would venture to say that it was maybe accidental. I don't know. Maybe she was doing too much. I don't know. It was leaked. I believe it came from the HQ exposing their leaderless leaders. Maybe the chickens have come home to roost in their own HQ. Maybe folks are seeing them for who they are and decided to expose the truth. I don't know. I'm just sharing it. They seem the doxy type A folks. Well, they've been doing it. I know leaders firsthand that it's happened to. Yes, they knew who the assembly is, and they are messy AF. The cultists, you're too nice to the idiots. Yvette will bully them. Tell them to take that energy to her lives. She does take it to her lives. That's why I'm doing this in defense of the assembly and myself. Juanita Nita Watson, running for or from? I don't know what that means. Tone is a known grifter, Poirot Productions. Okay, well, this feels like, as they're trying to make me a grifter, it appears that they look like grifters right now. I appreciate the political education, But they're the only ones making money while they're telling people we don't have money to do politics while everybody else got a pack. They could have encouraged everybody to give $1. We could have been at millions, okay? We could have grown the movement with their cooperation had they stayed in their lane. But no, they want to drag those of us who are doing the work. No, not Antoine. No knock Warnock is going to be just another milquetoast black politician like Cory Booker. Not going to be, is. That's why we were running Tamara Johnson-Shealy before the HQ stooges and the leaderless leaders decimated her entire movement, her entire run for office. BTP clip of them wishing death on our founders was horrible, and anyone who can just sit by and let it fly is a coward and horrible person too. Excuse me. First of all, they took everything out of context. This is the same thing they did to the ADOS Super PAC. That was not anything they said, but this is what they tweeted. Okay? It wasn't even Naheem speaking. Grimm was saying something not to the lineage. He wasn't wishing death on the lineage. He was talking about the movement in and of itself of what they were doing to be the power. That was the context in which he was speaking. He didn't wish death on no one, but Naheem got blamed. This is the kind of doxing and agent of chaos, and y'all want the assembly's name so y'all can do the same to them? Take everything they say and do out of context? That's happened to me more times than I can count. I always hear the low-key shade in Tony and Yvette's show about the things I was trying to do. So miss me with it. That's not be the power, wishing death on nobody. That is Yvette and Tone and their HQ stooges trying to decimate Be the Power the way they've already come for the Friends of ADOS TV. If I lose you, goodbye, the door. I really don't care. If all I got is a couple folks over here who like my content, I'm cool with it. It's well with my soul. I'm not here for a popularity contest. I'm here to deliver the ADOS, the reparations, and to tell Pharaoh to let my people go. So there's a difference in the way we ebb and flow. But this is the very thing they did. Someone called Black Patriarch took an excerpt from my show. No one listened to the whole show to figure out context. I was dragged for filth the same way y'all doing Be the Power. Lying on them because they came to the defense of me and other leaders in this movement. Tone snitched on Be the Power and now they can't go live. What do you mean they can't go live? They can't go live anymore? That's interesting. I have to reach out to my brothers. Well, people have got me placed in jail. This will probably get me placed in jail some kind of way. Fair use disclaimer. Let me put that out. Fair Use Disclaimer Act. Let me find it and read it. This is for educational purposes. This is for educational purposes. I got to read it because Facebook has been on my behind. Do you hear me? Try not to cuss very hard. God is working with my mouth. Let me see. So let me just pull up the Fair Use Act because they come for everything with me now. I'm sure I'm being reported. Whatever. I'm going to still find a way to get it done. I got Clubhouse now. So miss me with it. I'll just go over there and do my show. Let's see here. Let me find it. I got to read this real quick. Let me see here. There. I got to look it up on my phone. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Okay, so let me put the date and time I did that. 2/31/59, 58, 57. I'm sorry, y'all. I got to do this because they'll shut my videos down over on Facebook especially, and YouTube will do it too. So I got that noted. Let me put the date. And we'll keep going. Okay. That sounds like the prelude to Star Wars. Michael said, I want to thank this brother here. He keeps me laughing. Oh my God. Angela Turner YC needs to apologize to Tamara Johnson Shealy. Okay, they won't. They don't believe they have done anything wrong. L. Smith, welcome to the live. I believe they wanted to change this to BLM. Yvette is Alicia Garza and Tone is D-Ray. Boom. This is the grift, y'all, to make everybody else out to be a grift while they're grifting. We're the smoke screen, and they got the 80,000 subscribers to weaponize against us, the ones that we helped them to procure. They weren't at 80,000 subscribers when they first started. Not when I first started watching Yvette. Tone came later for me. She was with Boyce and then Irony and then Tone. That's how long I've been following her and sharing for her, as the rest of the people here have been doing. She's lying. She's a whole lie. Absolutely. That's what I'm trying to expose. There were 14 on the call. Didn't Tone say he didn't know them all? Dwayne Allen. The 14 on the call, I do believe, was all of them. Okay? Stop giving cover to these charlatans. I'm not with it. I'm not for it. Where can we make recurring payments to the PAC? Sis? You could go to PayPal and look up, I have to put the right link in there. If you go to the website, it should be there, Mike Michelson. Let me type it here. For those of you who want to aggregate dollars and get back to the business of getting our full-chested reparationists elected in 2 years to replace the lanes, this is something we must do. Put your coffee money in there, your McDonald's, whatever. Make it rain, family. We need all hands on deck, because that money is being used to push candidates like Tamara Johnson Shealy. One other person I have in mind that I'm going to talk to about running for Congress. But like I said, we may not be able to outmoney the Democrats, but our votes are our commodity. If we can weaponize our vote, we can socialize this suffering and let the Democrats know, if they keep a trifecta, that we mean business about the reparations. We have to send a strong statement with our vote. That's all we've got. We're not a wealthy group, but we do have some income left. Do your best, family. I know it's rough out there, but if we all gave $1, we'd be at 35 million. Okay. So I'm going to put it here in the chat. If you want to give, it's www.equityadvpac.com. Okay. Just give. And that money is going to go for the advertisements to get people elected in their respective states to replace the lanes in Congress, so we can get our reparationists in office. We'll have to keep it coming, keep it flowing. So you can probably set up recurring payments over there. Let's see here. It was a lot of Tone tears on Twitter yesterday. Dante. Wait. Oh, Poirot Productions. Are you pulling a Mike Michelson on me over here? Oh my God. Of course there was a lot of Tone tears yesterday. We had to rescind him. What do you think the people on that commission are going to think of him when they go to research his Twitter and Yvette's Twitter and link this all together and see a whole movement imploding to our embarrassment down here in California? Yeah, they're Tone tears. He should have thought about that before he decided to be a stooge in his own movement that he was trying to interject himself into. Don't cry for us. Don't cry. Ain't nobody crying over that. They're crying because we bested them, but we put him at that table and we showed him we can take it out. We can take it away. You don't get to use us for the come up, then drag us to dismantle the work that's been done. No, you don't. Breaking Tone and ADOS cult. Well, there it is, darling. I like that. Shanna Facts. This video is going to go to give YC some chair throwing energy tonight. Good. Maybe she'll run back her own video and bring the truth to her show tonight. I won't be watching, but I'm sure folks will be chatting me up. Hey, if she had let me defend myself when her minions kept erasing my comments in defense of myself and my comrades, yeah. If she had allowed me to do that and let my comments stand, instead of her minions, her stooges, erasing all of my comments in defense, as they call me, grifter, hey, then, hey, I guess we would be working together. Hey, I had to pause. Not offended you gave me the door. I'm starting a tech committee to hopefully support chapters, etc. Much love, sis. Oh, no, Darnell Lynch. Welcome back. Whatever. Shanna Ward, the devil is actually in the details, literally. Yes. Well, now y'all know the truth. So y'all need to go over there and give her that work. When she starts to drag me, I want to see all y'all coming to her defense and Tone's defense over here. Go in there and defend my name and my honor. Let's see how many of y'all do that. They're going to kick everybody out of ADOS except for Paul Sowers. Y'all laying me out. Yeah, Paul Sowers. That's not even his real name. You know, that's that $5 white ADOS, Paul Sowers. Came for the jugular of Naheem Way L. Be the power. At Yvette's behest, you see. I'm sure I'll get me an article too. I'm sure I will, but we already see who the liars are and the thieves. So, whatever. Nope, we never got any money out here. I see lots of money flowing for her chapter. Yes, I mean her show. Lots of money coming in. I hear they make 6 figures a piece from all y'all's donations as they drag the people who do it for free. Let's see here. Okay, they're going to kick us out. Yeah, Paul Sowers and her and Tone will start anew, I suppose, with 100 emails. Nope, we never got any money out here. Well, some of us do, and we use it to do this work. Friday is down. Yeah, Friday's cool. At Darnell Lynch, reach out to Marlon of ADOS Chicago and myself. We both have tech teams that work together. I love it. Friday getting much love. Yvette just out here lying. That is a sad statement for leaders to say, I didn't tell them what to do. Right. I told you it's the HQ stooges and the leaderless leaders. It's just a whole entire show. Yeah. You're supposed to be a leader, but you don't tell the assembly what to do. But you're not supposed to know the assembly. I mean, Tone just texted. He just met them. He just heard about them today. He just learned about who they were today. But you just saw them in a meeting, right? It's Rich. I'm almost done, and I'm gonna play it out just for kicks and giggles while I go and have me a nice libation. This is a sad statement for leaders to say, I didn't tell them what to do. Okay, liars, they a whole lie. No, I can't. YC and TT have me blocked. Okay, yeah, they block everybody that doesn't kiss the ring. Chaos wakes people up. Thank you, Cleopatra. I'm not on Twitter. I had no idea she was calling people like Mr. Watson or you a grifter. Oh, yeah. Xavier Starks, welcome to the live. She has attacked Irony, Dr. Hamilton, Dr. Darity, Ibrahim Tanner, Marlon Watson, the Assembly, Angela Nirvana, Friends of ADOS. Oh, I'm going to get it tonight. I'm going to get it tonight. I hope y'all come to my defense the way y'all coming to theirs. Y'all get over there and you know, get spellbound again, get hypnotized by the YC persona, which I do love. God bless her heart and soul. I love her personality. She keep me laughing. But, you know, I don't suffer from Stockholm syndrome. I call a spade, and I know how to protect my mental. And that is to distance myself from people like this and get with the folks who are really working. If you like to put in work, if you want to fight for reparations instead of fighting each other, please email me at friendsofadostv@gmail.com. And as soon as the assembly has the infrastructure in place, I will turn you guys on and you can see if it's a fit for you. You can also, the Reparations Collective, that's Don Page and Tara Perry. They're putting that together. If that's more your fit, more your speed, hopefully we can be working together. That's my hope and prayer, that we can merge energy, unite, coalesce, get the marches going, get the demands going. Everybody has a job in what is being rebirthed out of this clown show. HQ is doxing chapter members. Oh, yes, they are. Once again, Angela Nirvana leading the way for ADOS people being silenced by the true grifters. Oh, yes, I've been. But today I got time because God bless all. Amira is at Princess Not 6. Yep, that's the one who leaked the names of the assembly. And I believe she's the one that leaked this audio. Whether intentional or accidentally, she has managed, in hacking the systems of the assembly, she has managed to expose the leaderless leaders and their lies. And then making all of us out to be grifters, while it appears they are. It's been a nightmare for me and my comrades. Maybe they'll feel a little bit of this and change their ways. Be the Power just posted back up channel. Praise God. The channel's back up and running. They have a new channel for folks, BTP Media. Mine is new too. I'm changing everywhere to the reparationist perspective. Shaking my damn head. If you have never led a household, how can you lead a movement of Black families? How does that work? Well, people are capable. I don't think you need to have Black babies and be married or have been married to know how to lead people. We got lots of single people that don't have children in the movement and that are working. It's not a Black family thing in as much as it's a love for ADOS thing. That's where all of us are coming from, okay? Please subscribe. Thank you, Sherry Thomas. Thank you, my love. Yes, subscribe. You're going to see the name change. It's already happened in Facebook, called the Reparationist Perspective. I'm getting the ADOS name out of it. Not that I'm no longer a friend of ADOS, not that I won't be using it in some of the things I say, but it's just time to make a pivot, because they have clearly destroyed the movement. And I don't want that stain. I will always love our people, despite the name of my show. But the Reparationist Perspective helps for everybody to tune in to understand what this fight is all about. I'm just graduating, right? Like you get some, Tamara Johnson Shealy told me long ago when they dragged my pack, they have brought you as far as you were intended to go with them. She was absolutely right. That's the same thing that's happening right now. Their political education has brought us to as far as we can grow right now. We have to grow on. We have to grow on, and we are. And it's a beautiful, wonderful day. This feels like the ending scene in The Wiz. You know, can't you feel a brand new day? Can't you feel a brand new day? Yes, that's what it's feeling like for me. Sister, you got me hollering with that fair use act recitation. Baby, they've been coming for my vids over in Facebook and YouTube like you would never believe. All kind of strikes. What's your name on Clubhouse? I want to say Angela Nirvana, pretty Muslima. Please follow me at Clubhouse. I'll be over there growing and raising awareness and educating the masses and advocating for my people and loving up on my allies and my grassroots. I'm free. I'm free. I can't even believe, because they fight like cats and dogs with Tyreek, that I'm not supposed to have friends in all the spaces. You can't work with this one. You can't work with that one. Or the door. Angela Nirvana on Clubhouse. Please follow me. Boom. LGBTQ grift. I'm going to just keep on scrolling by that one. Oh, it keeps jumping. Okay. It keeps jumping, guys. I'm almost done. At Friends of ADOS TV, I share the link on Twitter. You are an angel. I love when y'all come in here and help me moderate because y'all know I'm technologically not very savvy. Thank you, my love. I heard someone was looking for an assembly member. Hey, family. Oh, Mark. Mark Stevenson in the building, y'all. Yes, he knows firsthand. Okay, so he outed himself. I don't think I outed him. Oops, I may have. Mark, forgive me. I know I called your name out earlier trying to help you understand that I'm not out here trying to drag with this video. I'm trying to restore our good names. This brother has put in much work. I would love for him to run for Congress. I'm just putting that out there. I'll talk to him offline about that. He has done wondrous things in the Ohio region. Okay. Darnell Lynch. Oh, he's in Marlon's group. Okay. I didn't mean to give you the door. Marlon and I have made up. We made up. He called me jealous at one point, but we spoken and it's all good, you know. Guess what, family? We a family over here. You see. We fall down, we get back up, we sling rocks. We are all pretty much type A personalities. It's a lot going on. And so we have to learn that what we're here for. We know at our core that we at one point have got to put the fights down. You know, we fight like brothers and sisters and we make up and it's even silent most of the time. We just get back in the fight. Get back. You know, Chris Lodson taught me that well when ADOS and SoCal and LA had their disagreement, you know, like, oh, fam, he is so immune to it. He's like, just get used to it. This happens all the time in movements. And he stayed the course and he has taught me how to keep the course. So shout out to my comrades and Chris Lodson because I really cried a river the first time it happened to me. I'm kind of immune to it now. But this puts them in defense mode. Let them defend this. Let them defend it. I ain't defending nothing. I'm here to vindicate. Is that the word I need? So tired I can take off running. Vindicate my name. Restore my good name, my good brand. That of my comrades. That's the goal of this. I'm not in defense mode. Let them defend this. Ask them about this when you go on her live tonight. If she ain't too sick to come on. She might have to go into the closet and figure out how she gonna respond. Alexander left. Irony, Otis, is too many people fell out because of her antics. I miss Alexander. I've not seen Alexander. I don't even know what happened. Irony was at the conference. Next thing I know, he's off doing his own thing. Otis, I know about that. That a mere character might be a government asset. She has a history of ingratiating herself to leaders and disrupting movements. Oh, do tell, Xavier Starks. Wow, interesting. Yeah. Y'all show tone the door in California. Yes, darlings, we did. No, you don't get to drag us and represent us at the same time. Choose or the door. Y'all make me laugh and laugh. I thank y'all for the laughs. I need the laughs because this is very unnerving for me to put my Christ, that's the one within me. Y'all know how I get down. All of y'all are God in expression. You understand what I'm telling you? You're the face of God, the voice of God, the temple of the spirit of the living God. So when I say the Christ, I'm referring to the one that animates this body. I had to step aside and come out of myself to do this. So I got to go and repent because this is not my nature. I don't like to keep mess going, but it is my nature to defend my character and my brand and that of my comrades. So I feel good about it, but not so good because I truly loved Yvette. And I love her, but something ain't right. She's either an agent, a grifter, or afraid of success. I don't know which. It's not up to me to be her therapist. I will always love her for putting me in touch with y'all. before her political education and before we founded this movement, I felt like I was drowning. Okay, like many of us. So she's instrumental for helping us find one another. And for that, I am eternally grateful to her. But I have to expose her because she has done harm to each and every one of us. And she allows her stooges to harm us. And so this is my response video. I'm not even going to do the little text things anymore. I was going to, remember yesterday I told you all I was going to do a separate show after getting lost 30 minutes on this subject. This resolves it for me. I am as finished with this as I am all fights. I'm ready to get in here, stay laser focused until we can deliver the people the reparations they are due. Check your FBDM. Uh-oh, what's in there, Mike Michelson? Lord of mercy. Kimberly Witcher, welcome, my love. I heard a son. I heard also y'all are looking for another assembly member. Hey, family, Hassan Powell. Okay, they told I wasn't me. Hassan Powell is, oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, I can't really talk about her right now because it's going to bring me to tears. But she is a comrade of exponential proportion. She is someone that has taught me so much in the way she moves, in the way she's come to my defense, in the way she's been there for me. Oh my God. Oh my God. Hassan, I love you. Thank you. But she already knows these people. So, you know, she's lying. I just shared the video, the leak. She knows them. They were in that meeting. Oh, she said she didn't know Hassan. You heard her. Maybe that was the first time she was meeting Hassan. You heard the video. I'll play it as I play us out. I'm almost at the end of the comments. Wickedness makes you sick. Wickedness does make you sick, fam. And to go to this level aligns me with an energy that I know not of. That I do everything in my power to fly above. Yeah. Yeah. It does. It makes you sick. But like in all things in my life, I've got to search myself all the time and decide, what can I live with? Can I live with these lies? Or can I live with the exposure of the truth? I can't live with the lies. I am a very forthright person. I've worked on myself spiritually to come up from the bottom. And to have myself and my comrades dragged in this way, I can't turn a blind eye. I can't. And I can no longer be silenced. You guys don't know the hate that comes from me because I've been silent. And it's been hurtful. It's been hard. It's been very hard to love your people so much and know that this kind of nonsense stands in the way of the work. These assembly members never asked for any credit. They were willing to step aside to give Tone and Yvette all the glory. And this is the thanks they've received. And I can't stand idly by and let their narrative be louder than the truth. So I put who I am spiritually on the line to do this. And it does make me sick. When Irene was not on the show, I was like, says Kimberly. Yeah. And yet Irene continued to sing their praises. He was down at the down at the inaugural conference. I never hear him say a sideways word about Yvette. I don't even know what happened between them. Marcus Champion, welcome to the live. He's done great things down here for AB 3121, Prop 16. Hard worker in the movement. As was Lori Jenkins. She was in here earlier. She may have had to go back to work. Yeah, these are the people who are getting dragged, whose families are being doxxed by the HQ stooges and the leaderless leaders. It's dangerous. So y'all can continue to rock with that if you want to. Y'all can continue to believe the lies in the face of the truth if you want to. It is finished. Chickens have come home to roost in this video. They have reaped what they have sown in this video. Something I made for you. Mike Michael said, I love you, my love. Thank you. Thank you for the last, fam. You have kept me in stitches. Oh my God. I love y'all. I love to laugh, y'all. Laughter is good for my soul, you know. So I love to laugh, and y'all keep me laughing. That Mike Michael said, I mean, he needs his own stand-up routine. He needs to be the comedian for the new thing that's being birthed. He really does. We need to have our parties, our conferences, and we need to put him on the stage and just unleash him, you know, during happy hour or something, you know. Mm-hmm. I was like, what happened? We all did, but something ain't right. She is very educated, but I agree with you. Hey, love. Y'all still talking. I love y'all so much. I love y'all. Y'all are the women beneath my wings. Y'all been here with a sister. Y'all been rolling with me. Y'all been rolling with me. Y'all don't know. Y'all don't know. Y'all will never know because I don't have the words to express it. I really don't. I feel your love, and guess what? I return it a bazillion fold. Yes, I do. You're not out of character. We all have a mandate order to call out these type of situations. You have said nothing inappropriate. Stand in your confidence. Believe that fire within you, and do not doubt. You are within your right, and also doing right by the community with this conversation. Thank you, Chanel. Thank you, Chanel. Love you too, sis. I know you do. Why would Yvette do this? She may be an agent. She may be a grifter. She may be afraid of success. She may be a combination of all three. I don't know, my love. Y'all have to ask her on her show tonight when she is sure to come for me. Like they should know how ADOS struggles. They know the struggle. They know the data. Marcus Champion. All love black, brother. Proud of you. Proud of all of you. We come through our growing pains. It's time to unify and get this for the people. Love you back. I feel your energy. Thank you, pretty Muslima. With that said, family, I'm going to close us out with this video one last time. If you're still here, watch it. It's about 14 minutes long. Yeah. I love y'all black. I love y'all strong. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over ADOS and its allies. Wherever you are, God is, because guess what, family? You are the face of God. You are the voice of God. You are the body temple of the spirit of the living God. With that said, family, you go out here in these streets and you show the world who you are. A proud Black American descendant of chattel slavery. And you make it a beautiful God-inspired rest of your day until we meet again on, I think, Friday. And then again Sunday, 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 7 Central, 8 Eastern. Unless they pull me into a meeting because the work is the priority. I love my show. I love coming to you guys, but it has to work in and around the orders I receive from Cali to get this work done, to help them do this lifting, which I'm very proud to be able to do. Thank you for your support and for your love. Peace, family. I'm going to play this out.
people saying, well, Yvette, we heard that you was instructing them and you was telling them what to do. I told no one what to do. This is a shadow org. They won't even tell me today who is in there. I don't even know who's in this assembly. It's like the mob. Who in there?
If you want to call it an overview of what the assembly is and does, I'll stop here, pause here. Any questions, comments, thoughts, feedback from either you, Tone, or Yvette with respect to what you've heard so far?
No, I see you all do a lot of great work. My only concern would be that is so concentrated, because what I see in this group is a lot of skill and a lot of work, right? Even when you talk about the Black Cities podcast and we talk about ADOS HQ, like I would like to bring like a link to that, like to the work that you all do, and like highlight that work and bring attention to that work, because part of what happens is if there's not if there's not a structure for too long, what happens is you have a concentrated group of talent, right? And so like if people want to start chapters and stuff, they know, like you said, Chris, come and we have a conversation or whatever, and if they want to start this. But there's a whole lot of people, especially people who are kind of, they don't even have a chapter, right? So like that's kind of what HQ does. So it allows everybody under one hub and to kind of put what you all have done as well, and like okay, well maybe this is a structure we can use, because we're talking about we need resources. We need like a hub for not only resources, but we need a hub for like the teams that we talk about. We talk about media teams, legislative teams, policy teams, for all the chapters, right? And then for all the work within those little groupings on ADOHQ, for allowing people within those chapters to kind of highlight what they do and how they've done it, so that we can have like, I know that you all get out, and I've heard about you all. I know you all. I know about everybody on here. I think Sean, I didn't know well, but I think everybody else I even talked to or heard about, right? But stuff that gets to me doesn't necessarily get to everyone, right? In terms of like a concentration of talent. And I really kind of want to bring everybody online to highlight like, okay, this is what you do. So you might be tutoring there, but you also tutoring on the ADOS HQ, right? Because it becomes like an online hub of people. And also if there's some stuff and people are disagreeing, I'm hoping that we can take some of that over there, right? So we can kind of hash that out there, because there's a lot, even in terms of media. So I don't want anybody to have to look around for Friday's show. I don't want anybody to have to really search around for the Black Cities podcast. I would like a link for that to be there, and you go there. So okay, this is what ADOS SoCal, this is what ADOS LA, this is what ADOS Boston, this is what ADOS DMV. So you can go in there and figure out who you need to talk to, who you need to deal with, especially if you're organizing around something. So let's say you're organizing around something that's happening in your area. You organizing, oh, I know so-and-so just dealt with this, right? So I want to talk to Reggie in Boston, because I know he formed a relationship with Ayanna Presley. I'm trying to do the same thing. So how did you do it? Did you do it in meetings? I think we need a place to kind of, because it's COVID too, and I hope, they say in 2021, but we have to have a place to kind of not only structurally organize outside, we have to have a place to kind of structurally like converge on a place. And what I see is like a bunch of people, a bunch of like talented people here, and I've seen it elsewhere as well. It's not just, but I want to bring that on board and kind of onboard people in such a way that like you're not just providing leadership here or with the people that you deal with, you're providing like that to a greater ADOS community online, because a lot of people don't even like the phone. I didn't even realize that. I realized a lot of stuff, but a lot of people love it being online. Some people hate it. Some people like, I don't even have a Twitter account. I didn't even know nobody was fighting. So I want to give everybody an avenue to be able to do that and be able to because I would like to have work groups for everything. Because we're going to have to get into the point at some point where we're talking about or working with who we hire to write our own bills and stuff, right? So that has to be, we have to have that policy group. And I don't want to have 1,000 different things if I can scale this thing and just have everybody working together, and we can have mods within that space too to make sure that everybody stays on task. It's much more difficult to have that kind of conversation on Twitter because people who aren't even us can just throw an ADOS hashtag, and there's no kind of accountability, can't be kicked out. So I love everything that I have seen here. I just think I want to make sure that those talents are used also for the group, because I think there's a lot to learn from here. And I want to make sure, and I've heard other people do other stuff, and there's a lot to learn from here. And one hand don't know what the other hand is necessarily doing. So I would like to bring some of that in to what we're doing, and like provide you all with an opportunity. You've already proven yourselves in terms of what your leadership capacity does and what your work does with your timeline. And so there are a lot of people, because people are onboarding every day too. So I want them to kind of be able to see that and say, this is the path that was laid here, and here is how we can use what they've already did back in 2018 or 2019 to build from for our own little small chapter that we're doing. And I can call or whatever, but I can also just sometimes I might not need to necessarily. I can talk to Chris; he's available, but he also put a link to this in that part of the think tank. In that part of the in that part of the group in HQ. He also did this. He also posted this. And when somebody asked about this 2 months ago, I remember he posted this. Let me go find it. So I just want that to be kind of a hub for it. I just wanted to make sure everybody was clear. I want that to be kind of a hub where you can do your thing. I can't hear you. I can't hear good. Maybe it's my fault.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was unmuted. I really appreciate the presentation. Everything's not going to be resolved today. In terms of, it's good to get the layout of what you guys see internally. As we're laying it out, we're setting up the C4 and the headquarters. The C4 will be out of Georgia. Once we have that established, I think we can start moving to input from different people, and of course, we would definitely take your input at the highest value in terms of how we should structure like chapters, because we need to be concerned with everything from unauthorized message from ADOS to COVID concerns about how we even have meetups happening. I don't think we have that in place, that we want everything to be virtual. So there's, legal ramifications, but there's also structure. I think right now, what we would do is just take back the image of, your structure, and then kind of just digest that. As you know, you guys gave us a lot to chew on today. I think we're all moving to a productive space post Biden election, most likely, and hopefully when we get there, we can start leveraging everyone's skill sets to grow even further.
When I say Messiah leadership, I mean, like, I don't want to put something in place where, like, when MLK dies, everybody is over with. So, right, Antonio and I go and it's finished. I think we have to put a structure in place where people know that they slide into place. You're next, so you're next up. And what has to happen, and the reason, I also said we don't do Messiah leadership, but I also said we can't be Black Lives Matter. So the thing that has to happen in terms of Antonio and I as co-founders is you have to have accountability. So when something happens, especially when you're talking about when we're getting more media exposure, you have to, that responsibility has to fall somewhere too. So it's people love to do praise, but nobody wants to do the accountability part of it. It has to, that you can't do it without that. So I think, I understand, and I even understand what Black Lives Matter tried to do in terms of trying to have it all be horizontal. For me, I don't think it necessarily works. It works in some groups, but you have to have a specific kind of group to make it work, right? So it may work in a group where everybody is mature, like when you see the assembly, everybody's mature, they're willing to work together. It doesn't always work everywhere else. And I think, I tell people all the time, that's why the military has a structure. That's why you know exactly when it's time, when somebody says put down your arms, put them up, we understand exactly what's happening. But when I say Messiah, I don't want this, like when you think of the civil rights movement, and it's not even right, but you just think of King. You don't even think of Ella Baker. You don't even think of a lot of the other people who were there doing work. I think what we have to do, we have to also understand that, like, you're not the founder or co-founder, but like, listen, we have a person who is going to be able to do that. You have to have somebody who is ready and willing to slip into all of these roles. You have to have people, and you have to allow a space to where you're not always the one talking on TV. Everybody knows who else can do this. Everybody knows who's good at speaking. Everybody knows who can slide. Everybody knows who is the next person up who's good at data. You have to have people who are ready at the drop of a hat to slide into all these roles. Because if not, once you cut the head off, what happens is, it's just finished. It's just over. And we've seen that. Go ahead, Tiffany.
Can I jump in here? You know, it's weird because I don't think everybody knows why they like ADOS, and I think part of what they don't see is I think it's a very, very abstract mix. You know, I might talk to Yvette, and then somebody like Serena. I mean, I might talk to Chris, and then somebody like Serena might talk to Yvette. Because I think what happens is because Yvette, between Howard, sexuality, her skin tone, her parents' age, being in the deep South, and then you got me. I'm UCLA attorney, West Coast, brown male, and I think we just cover a gambit of issues that bring about a whole conundrum for what leads to downfalls of, I guess you could say, Black political groups in this moment. So what do I mean? In this moment, gender is one of the main things because it becomes an issue. Right after that is sexuality, homophobia, and things of the sort. Education is another one. I mean, so many of these groups aren't being led by educated people. Everyone can have their feeling and how they feel about it. Another one is just not being quote unquote Black enough. One thing that you can't do is question me and advance Blackness. And I'm talking about that in a more pure sense of, did you grow up around Black folk, or are you just pretending? And I think when you start combining it all, if we get like our the ADOS movement is at a stage where it's just learning to walk. It's not necessarily an infant anymore, but it's just learning to walk. One of the things that will have to happen as a balancing act between what you guys have set forward and what we see is some kind of clarity about, are you guys talking about running while we're just talking about let's start walking, and how do we meld that together and move forward? I think that Yvette's line was about Messiah leadership, and I think that some people might have mistook that, Reggie, in the sense that it wasn't necessarily saying that this movement won't have leadership. And one thing I have truly respected, and I don't say this too often to you guys, or maybe not often enough, the ones that I deal with, is you guys, whether you know it or not, have consistently allowed myself and Yvette to lead without having to say so. When I went to the meeting with Karen Bass, I really respected that ADOS LA allowed me to make the presentation that's on the YouTube shows. Let's make it simple. The same thing goes when we did the hearing with AB 3121. Our mission now has to stay simple while being very complex in terms of I guess you could say undergirding. So what do I mean? Simple in the sense of we're trying to project the messages on these shows. Complex in the sense of you got to have a whole infrastructure so people don't try to undercut your message. We got all kind of people trying to come in and act like Johnny come latelys and act like they Chris on Friday or Princess and the thing is, this structure I think begins to allow us to say, you just got here, get your membership card first, get your laminate. Your laminate is still hot and you already saying what you gonna do. Let me jump in here and explain. And so first of all, the first thing, there's 14 people on this call. So I don't know everybody on this call. So I'm only gonna speak in so many terms. And that doesn't mean any disrespect to the 14 people, but I'm just gonna keep it quite simple. This project started with me and Yvette doing shows and people asking for solutions. I started using a bunch of economists. My first interview was with Thomas Shapiro, if you remember. And so I used a bunch of economists, and one of them was Darity. And the main thing that Darity kind of allowed for is us to anchor what we already wanted to do, which is, I don't know why no other Black professors have said ADOS exists.
People saying, well, Yvette, we heard that you was instructing them and you was telling them what to do. I told no one what to do. This is a shadow org. They won't even tell me today who is in there. I don't even know who's in this assembly. It's like the mob. Who in there?
If you want to call it an overview of what the assembly is and does.